let's have some reminders from last session. Number 1, Kuzco just got hit by an autocarriage.
I won.
That's true, you did win. Nazeem wants to discipline Kuzco for acting out of turn. Kuzco wants to survey the anomalous power plant. In fact, I wrote the anomalous power planet. Anomalous blah, 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 from a distance.
I'll survey your power plants all you want.
Whoa, goddamn it, Carl. Someone wanted to use autocarriages for cover as you approach. Kuzco wants to contest any and all insubordination claims. Only session 3, so it's presumably a while before that, unless the sergeant radios in to company command, voxes in to company command preemptively. Coayah is... What is it going to look like for you if you radio in to your fucking company command that, yeah, you've reached the target, but one of your squad members is a little bit bolshy?
Can we do squad, please? Can we do this again, please, with a better squad?
No do-overs.
Sure, I'm going to move you to the 0304. Wankers.
Just walk back to the landing zone. Like, I want to do fucking squad.
Oh, Lord knows the 04 need more members now.
Coayah is unhappy that Mackie keeps back-talking the sergeant. Coayah wants to give the army actual commands. Okay.
Probably help if we gave them actual commands, I'm just saying.
They know what they're doing. Just leave them alone. It's fine.
Nick, you're a
They don't know what we're doing. That's the problem.
They know what our task is, so they know what we're doing. That's it. It's fine. It's like Horizon. That's a large issue.
They said the Duke of Wellington on the eve of the Battle of Portaloo.
Sorry, Portaloo?
Yes, I got it deliberately wrong. It was the joke.
I caught that, but I feel like I don't know enough about the Battle of Waterloo.
I know a modest amount about the Battle of Waterloo, and I don't...
I know enough.
It was a battle over revolutionising the sewage systems.
Murder you.
See, Cread gets the joke.
No, Cread made a good joke.
Wow.
So
damn, you can't be that cruel to your team there, Sergeant.
That was out of character. So, yeah, Sergeant, either Kuzco or Nazeem, I guess. What do? Kuzco, you're currently standing in the middle of the conveyor way, just like half wrapped in the remains of this military-grade autocarriage. And Nazeem, you've just about missed getting splattered in the face by the driver's head, if I recall correctly.
I would like to report that I have acquired cover for our incipient reconnaissance.
Kuzco, I meant to take reconnaissance from a distance.
Right.
Well, right now we have cover
without
for it.
being spotted. Looking for
who knows if we're like fucking 12 feet tall, okay? Like, look around us!
Yeah.
Can I get a perception check from everyone, at a plus
How
30?
obvious was the car crash?
Oh,
Brother Sergeant, they probably assume he's
Plus
done.
20,
Yeah,
plus 20, yeah. From the roar of the conveyor.
That is a pass.
Coayah, as you hear this discussion begin to heat up, Coatlmox is apparently... you got a 96, Coatlmox. Why are you so distracted right now?
There's a particularly nice auto carriage coming up.
Yeah, that is
eyeing it up.
That is an anti-grav auto carriage. Those things are rare.
Ooh.
Grab it. Literally.
Brothers, we are not here to loot.
What?
We are here to secure this eye for the
Coayah,
Emperor.
more than anyone else notices, and then Mackie shortly after, when he sees where Coayah's head snaps up, is the screaming distant sound, just barely visible, over the roar of the of the conveyorway and the distant booms and gunshots of battle behind you, or lascracks rather, is the screaming of incoming mortar shells.
Let's find cover.
I'm in cover!
This conveyor way, is it like level or road?
Yeah.
Because I got a large bunch of successes, am I able to find cover in time for this?
Oh, you'll get a bonus to what? I mean, what was your DOS?
Well, plus 20, so I'm 65, so that is 6 degrees of success.
Oh, yeah, you don't even need to roll for finding cover. You have enough warning that you will leisurely be able to find somewhere. So, remember, this is a floating hive city situation. You're actually on the topmost layer of said city at the moment, which means that you're kind of on almost a flat, but not quite a flat surface with the road. You're sort of I guess not flushed. It's like a little bit raised in parts, a little bit lower in others. You're standing on like a chunky pavement section, effectively. But also beneath you, there's this like porous, mile-thick mass of city.
Would I be able to tell which way the fire is coming?
Yes, in fact, like once you heard it, you were able to sight it fairly easily. And in fact, you can even guess the rough trajectory, which is more or less directly where you're currently standing. It is coming from within what is very transparently the defensive zone of the anomalous power plant.
I'm going to go follow Benji. I got 3 degrees of success on my perception roll, so I was 60 or under. Oh wait, no. If there's a sight, is that a sight or a hearing-based test?
It was hearing.
Oh, so was that plus 20 part of the...
No.
No, in which case then I
in which case I got even more success.
Yeah, I got like 6 degrees of success then, or 5 degrees of success.
Oh, dear.
I got 8 degrees of success.
Coayah, you're leading the way here. You're halfway between Zone Shay and Zone Hota. Let me just double check what those are. So Shay is upper class residential areas which aren't quite as fancy as the promenade back at the beach, and Hota is mostly large commercial shopping centres and like small boutiques and such on this topmost layer of the hive. What type of cover are you looking for, Coayah? You got 6 degrees, so you can't cross the road.
8.
It's 8 degrees, so you can't cross the road. But you know what? Fuck it, you got 8 degrees. If you want to make a mad dash across the road, see if you do any better than Kuzco, you can give it a go.
No, I think I'm going to dive for Zone Shay. Open shopping precincts are going to be defined by light and space to give especially if they're upmarket boutiques, they're going to be very breezy and airy, which are poor attributes to be for when you're defending against a freaking mortar attack.
That is extremely fair. You're standing like next to some dense but upper class block housing, and a wall looks not too particularly sturdy. So with a single firm boot and a fairly reasonably strong shove, you're able to just kind of force your way laterally into the building. Shortly followed afterwards by Maki. This leaves Kuzco, Coayah, and to a lesser extent Coatlmox outside. What do?
Can I try and jump on that sweet auto carriage if it hasn't driven by already?
You know what? You were focused on it. Why the fuck not? Let's have a look and see. Well, I guess because you're very heavy, but we'll deal with that when we land on it.
I love the idea of like 4 degrees of failure giving you an anti-grab auto carriage. It's not really failing upwards.
The dream.
Failure is only failure at what you're doing. It's not necessarily failure at other things.
True.
I will take... You're trained in climb. I'll take climb edge at a minus 30.
Alright.
To jump on the speeding auto carriage.
Climb edge, minus 30. So that'll be a 10. Let me double check if I have any...
I feel like you're going to
bonuses anyway.
I believe in him.
What are you rolling under?
10.
Oh, so close.
29.
Alright.
Hurl yourself in front of the precious, antique, beautifully made auto carriage, going at full pelt down the conveyor way. I will take... I mean, this is a civilian one, so I will take 4d10 worth of damage, please.
Sure.
As you throw yourself into the direction of the car and are immediately hit.
I said car.
Auto carriage, sorry.
For 27. That thing did more damage to you than the freaking Lithogon.
Yeah, you weren't here for this, but this is exactly what happened with Carl last week, who got 25 when he was hit.
Yeah, I was going to say, it did more damage than the military Humvee equivalent I was hit with, which should be armoured, so I'm counting it as cover for the incoming mortar fire.
It's cover from one direction, but it's unlikely to be cover from above.
Yeah.
That's a direct hit.
That sounds like someone with no imagination on how to toss cars around.
If you want to build a tiny tent out of the car in the middle of the active conveyor way, we can discuss that.
I mean, like...
How much damage did you take, Coatlmox?
Assuming a body hit, 7.
7 damage, yeah. So you go flying off to the side. Nazeem, you seem to have lost control of your squad. A second one has thrown themselves into the conveyor way.
They don't want to be under your command anymore.
What's closer, like a gap underneath the what you got, the conveyor way, or the building that
I guess technically a gap underneath the
Coayah.
conveyor. As mentioned, it's a hive, so it's a honeycomb structure. With sufficient punching, you could probably...
Is Nazeem even aware why we're doing this?
What, the car thing?
Any of this?
The cover.
You have... The mortar shells are now close enough that the remaining three of you noticed. Just you now have to test if you want to get into cover.
Yeah, I'll dive on. The closest scenery, I think, is best, probably.
Okay.
So.
Cool. I will take Adge at +0, please, John Nicholas.
Nope. Because there's no bonuses to either for the armor. It's just strength we get bonuses for.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
Yeah.
Doff?
With 60. That's me, Doff 2. Doff 2.
Hold a second, I need to get the bloody book out, don't I?
Probably help, yeah.
Jesus, man, are you throwing the book at him? Come on, Chief. You can't do this to him. He's so close to retirement.
He's a renegade.
Cannon.
It's going to really hurt when the book's thrown at you in like 40k, because them are some big books with a lot of chains on, and sometimes they're on fire.
They have small books too.
They do not. I've never seen a small book.
Absolutely do. What are we looking at? We're looking at the armor, we're looking at melee weapons. And, sorry, how many Doff did you say that was, your Nicholas?
2.
2 Doff. Cool. And Kuzco, what are we doing?
I'm tunneling deeper into the autocarriage, and by that I mean just wrapping it around me.
I
Like
will
a
take
terrifying duvet.
I will take a strength check. I'll give you a -10. And it doesn't make a huge difference, but...
You're rolling at plus 20, I want to say? Yeah, because you have enhanced strength, so you're rolling at plus 20 in your strength test.
I was going to ask that after the modifier that Ewan just gave me.
No, I'm giving you the generic difficulty of -10, but then you get your plus 20.
Okay.
So it's net of plus 10, I think. But I don't usually factor your modifiers in on my end for the sake of clarity.
I was asking for what Ollie was saying for the 20, so...
Fair.
So, 40. Come on, 40. Hey, 3 degrees.
As Kuzco, after several, So the conveyor is still in active use. Strong active
Should we
use.
put some cones out? Maybe like a little flashy light?
And more than a few other auto carriages also bash in each time, but Kuzco is at this point braced and able to more or less tank the damage. So past a certain point, he's able to haul his own auto carriage over himself, and then kind of tunnel into the wreckage of the remaining auto carriages. Some of which
I am
still
nesting
have
now.
active occupants in, but what are they going to do? Resist? And has basically proofed himself against the incoming mortar attack. Which leaves exposed only Nazeem, who dives for what he thinks is a nearby hole, which turns out to be a lot narrower than it actually is. And sorry, because you've got a headshot, you're Nicholas, 60. So head in cover, rest of you outside cover. And Coatlmox, who was hit by another auto carriage, which has totaled around him. Anti-grav flying every which way, which is kind of not pinning him in place, but making it difficult to get out of the wreckage of the car crash because the anti-grav keeps repelling him in different directions. Cool. The first round of mortar shells, evidently assuming you to be part of a much wider pronged attack rather than an isolated squad, begins to land all around you.
Whilst I'm taking cover inside Zone Shay, can I radio the army units and other squads who are presumably still making their way towards this location that we've come under mortar fire, and for the location from which we've come under mortar fire?
Yeah.
As this is being done, can I spy anything in the room that something spear-like that could be thrown, perhaps?
You're in a posh person's flat block. What are you hoping for?
I mean, I was thinking more maybe something more akin to a telephone pole or something, but maybe shorter. But like a long cylindrical thing, I suppose. Maybe a table, like a cylindrical table, maybe something I can huck. I'm fairly confident I can throw things pretty far, and I feel like I can probably huck something at it.
You could rip. Wait, huck
Why
something?
are you throwing a table?
Sorry, huck something at what?
The
I
artillery.
think he wants to. Yeah.
You
You
can.
have a Volca incinerator. Why are you throwing a table?
It has a range of 10 meters.
Yeah, to
You've
be
got
fair,
bolt
even-
guns
even
to get.
at max
If you,
range, you can't see the artillery people, Ollie. They're mortars.
Oh, I thought you said they were very clearly coming from inside.
Yeah, you can see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
They're mortar teams. So you can see where the
It's like you
shells
see the
are.
trail.
Exactly. You see where the shells are arcing out from, and like
Mhm.
where some of them are impacting against the interior.
Okay,
of
fair enough,
the
fair enough. I
regions.
thought I could see them from where I am, like they were on top of a rooftop or something, and I could see it.
And
In which-
even if you could, like, you can huck a table. Doesn't mean the table's going to be going very fast when it gets there. Like, if you huck a table across a room, that's forceful. If you huck a table across a motorway, that is an irritant, but it's not going to take out multiple artillery teams. For clarity, this isn't 1 or 2 mortar shells. I almost wouldn't even make your roll cover against those. No, this is like 100 mortar shells. And on that subject,
Okay,
for
fair enough. Say no more then. Say no
the
more.
2 of you who are outside, that said, I think maybe piping in the walls sounds like it would be your best shot, as it feels like you wanted a javelin of some kind. If you just have to brute force, then like a refrigeration unit. People outside. How lucky both of you feeling?
I'm feeling okay at the moment. We'll see how I feel after this water attack.
It's lucky.
Tell you what, I will take 4d10 explosive damage, but it goes against whichever part of your armor is weakest, unless that's your head for young Nicholas, because your head is in cover.
In which case,
Wait, is that for all of us?
No, that's for the 2 of you who aren't in cover.
Does that
I
make
do love the idea of just Nick having his head stuck under an
arms
autocarriage,
or legs.
getting pummeled by just mortar round after mortar round.
What? Does my autocarriage nest not count as cover?
No, your autocarriage nest does. It's Coatlmox and Nazeem.
Right.
I haven't nested mine yet. I just sort of got hit by one.
That would be my confusion.
You rolling this, young Nicholas?
Oh, sorry.
Sat there
Enough
casually
staff sergeant.
watching
This
as
guy.
Cread takes damage.
I soaked it.
No?
You have survived the first volley, giving you a small breather as they take into account the range of their shots and see what level of damage they did and what level of resistance they're facing. Okay, squad, you have a brief breather. You can see that the conveyor way is not quite grinding to a halt, but they're starting to clearly move troop transports in your direction. There's a large barricade set up across on the other side of the road as people move to protect the anomalous power plant. What?
So it's no longer heaving. It's no longer like got cars rattling across it. We can get
No,
across
there's a
there.
shit ton of auto carriages going across it, but they're having to avoid the 2 lanes or so of that. I think we said it was an 8 to 10 lane conveyor way. Yeah, so there's at least 2 lanes of it which have now been utterly blocked up by
Cool. I
the
would like
wreckage
to.
of Kuzco and Coatlmox.
I would like to. So it's 100 meters across, roughly.
I would say more like 150 to 200. It is a major conveyor way.
Okay. What I would like to do is blast my Volkite incinerator. I just want to do one shot, and I want to blast it across 40 meters in a line, sort of this. Can't really do it properly with the ruler tool, but sort of this way. And I want to try and slice through as many cars at once.
Doesn't it only do 1d10 plus 8?
It does only do 1d10 plus 8, but I was thinking...
It's not really great against cars, I'm afraid, Ollie. It annihilates flesh, but if you hit... you might well damage the first car you hit quite well.
Fair enough, then. I'm gonna...
It is a ray, isn't it? So you damage the cars you hit, but you wouldn't just, disintegrate.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Do you have a bolt?
I have a bolt pistol. I also have frag grenades and crack.
Okay. How good are you at shooting?
I'm very good at shooting.
What's your ballistic skill?
60 or over.
Okay, in which case, I will toss you my bolt. If I toss you my bolt gun,
Yep.
and I start lobbing grenades, shall we start trying to shoot out that bloody barricade that they're trying to set up?
Yeah, I was thinking clearing a path through,
the-
destroying the cars first.
Where's the barricade?
Where we need to go.
So I was thinking,
Sorry, I'm just going to delete this graffiti on the map.
Hey, not graffiti. It's
I will
Truth.
mark a barricade for you now.
But yeah, fully in character. Brother Sergeant, recommend assaulting barricade before they've fully established a defensive foothold.
Agreed.
Brother Sergeant, I would like to clear us a path through the road. We destroying cars on each side, killing the passengers, and so on, causing them to crash, creating hopefully a corridor through to the barricade.
Okay. Mackie and Coayah, concentrate on keeping the cars off of us. The rest of us will proceed forwards to the barricade and take it down.
Brother Sergeant, may I suggest first that we go and destroy the cars first, then creating a corridor for you to follow us through.
There he goes with those proposals again. Second time he's made that one.
I called him Brother Sergeant! Everything's gravy, baby.
So you
get one round of shooting and then we have to move.
Well, but you may get hit by a car, Nick.
It's fine. It's a risk I'm willing to take.
Oh, when you get hit by a car, it's fine.
When it's planned, it's fine.
Can I just sort of like heft some of the autocarriage wreckage above me slightly and slowly advance across the road?
Try.
Grab some wreckage and get moving.
All right, we'll do that in a sec. But let's hear what Ollie was going to say.
I was going to, if Benji's still throwing me the gun, I'm going to grab it and just start shooting at cars.
Okay,
just
cool.
try to press them carefully so I create a chain reaction of crashes.
I think these are probably pretty skilled shots. I'll take ballistic skill at a -20, please, Ollie.
Should I be aiding him with my bolt pistol?
Yeah, I'll let you assist. That's another +10.
Cool. I don't think I have anything in my thingamabobs. So, yep, just ballistic skill at 40 or under.
It's got a +10 general as well.
Oh, yeah, plus in general.
This isn't a standard attack. This is you making skilled shots.
Oh, okay, cool. In which case, then, yep. Do you not make it? That's
you have fate.
Degrees of failure, actually.
You have fate, it's true.
I have one fate point.
You got one back at the beginning of the session.
I already brought it back at the beginning of the session.
Oh my god, Ollie.
Well, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to spend it.
Are you sure?
Yes, he's sure.
Apparently you are sure. Yeah, so initially, the bolt gun tossed to you seems to like kick in your hands. It feels like these things are almost alive at times, but that's fucking. I was going to say heresy then. That's fucking mystical nonsense. And with a little bit of percussive maintenance, you're able to rack the bolt gun, get it working, and then begin blasting out thunderous shots, assisted ably by Coayah. If you could lose, what's the clip on a bolt? Pistol. Yeah, if you'd like to lose, we'll call it 10 shots from the bolt gun's ammunition, and Benji, if you could do me a D10 for your bolt pistol, see how many assistance shots you lose.
Benji, you keep the. I'm not going to write down the ammo count. I'm going to give you the bolt gun back afterwards.
It's fine.
So if you want to recommend
someone, young Nicholas.
Oh, how? What?
Okay. Got 4 mags remaining for my bolter, and I've got. In that case, I've still got 7.7 mags remaining for my freaking Astartes bolt pistol.
What was your DOS on that, Ollie?
That was, if I was rolling at 40 or under, 3 degrees of success.
If you're rolling? Yes, it's 40. It's 3 degrees of success. Yeah, so, simultaneously then, Coatlmox, let's have your strength check for busting across the road. You are hefting an autocarriage by yourself, so I'll give you a -20 for that.
Sure. Where's my dice?
Just because I assume he can either see or guess what you're doing from the noises outside. Kuzco, what are you doing with your autocarriages?
I kind of want to burst out. I'm trying to find a good way of describing it, but all I can think of is Blood Eagle.
You want your ribs to explode out the back of your body?
Well, no, more like the cars are the ribs, and I'm bursting out.
And you're the
fortifying.
Yeah.
You're the chest burster to that car's human.
yeah, ultimately.
So
but I want to try and basically heft one of the cars into the next lane to hopefully create some sort of barrier.
So, Kuzco, from within your cocoon of crashed auto carriages, still with some drivers and passengers wiggling and screaming, you, bracing yourself for one hell of a lift, heft the lightest auto carriage you've got on top of you, punch outwards through, and hauling this thing over the top, step up. Oh fuck, my spine, your spine. Forwards and crunch down into the next conveyor way. You can see, however, further up the conveyor way, a series of devastating crashes as bolt gun shells pumped upstream by Coayah and Mackie are taking a severe toll on the drivers. And moving at something of a speed, using it as almost a shield, slightly in front of you, and kind of angling it so he's protected a little bit from the barricades and also a little bit from the cars. Coatlmox is about halfway across the conveyor way. Nazeem, what do? Your squad's making fairly good progress, actually.
And the sergeant has his head stuck in a hole.
He has not removed himself explicitly yet, I will grant you that. I had been trying to ignore that fact.
Nick, you're muted.
You're still muted, yeah, Nicholas.
You're still muted. We can't... Can you not hear us at all?
Nick.
Oh, no,
I muted myself because I was echoing on someone, apparently. No, I pulled my head out pretty toot sweet. And I will go to the corpse of one of the autocarriages that Kuzco burst from and use that as my shield as I follow my brothers across the autocarriageway.
Just to confirm, the autocarriages have wrecks rather than corpses. They're not, alive.
Same thing.
I like it. I like that as a descriptor of a crashed auto carriage.
I mean, there's certainly corpses in some of them. Many of them.
I want the autocarriages explicitly. The corpses are a bonus or whatever. It's extra crunch zone.
The corpses are a bonus. Episode
Says
title.
the sergeant, about to fall to the whispers of
So,
corn.
congratulating yourself for your quick thinking, Sergeant, and good organisation. Yeah, you're doing pretty well here, says the little voice at the back of your mind. You stride out from the cover you had doubtless positioned yourself to, and hauling up one of the remaining auto-carriage wrecks, begins striding out the conveyor way, also shielded. There's comparatively few auto carriages and armoured transports coming down the conveyor way now. You've caused at least a temporary blockage. However, a veritable flood of infantry is starting to move out to clear the conveyor way and from the barricades to charge at the oncoming squad. You can... I will take a... Was it Tactical Imperialis? Primer Imperialis, or Scholastic Law War, either way, from, I guess, the Sergeant, actually, is most relevant.
Yeah, okay. That's going to be...
Hard.
That's only 2 degrees of success.
Your training...
Zero, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Your training suggests to you that they maybe were a little bit overeager with the initial round of mortar shells, that they may have assumed that you were part of a larger spearhead. Now that they've realised you're an isolated squad, they're looking to swamp you with infantry and then shore up their position.
Fools.
You can see as Coatlmox scrapes his auto-carriage wreck across the conveyor way, there's perhaps 50, 60, 70, 80, 90... 100 of them charging out from behind the barricades and across the conveyor way towards you from the anomalous power plant, and a load more coming down the conveyor way. Several armoured transports that can no longer get up towards the Lamatic conveyor strut have stopped to unload their troops and deal with the problem in the way.
Are they in range for me and Mackie's to start throwing grenades at them?
You're a spaceman, you've got a hell of an arm.
I do have a hell of an arm. I'm just checking that I have enough of a hell of an arm.
I'm going to reload my fists real quick.
I will kill you, Ollie. I imagine so.
You're going to try and fist him to death.
No, I'm so mad at you, Carl. But I'm actually not 100% certain. Let me look up the grenade rules.
What? You're not just going to wing it?
Roll play amongst yourselves.
Like, you say you're mad at me, Ewan, but you're the one that said you were going to pump upstream.
God damn it.
You're right, it is almost every 20 minutes, isn't it?
It is about.
Alright, as well, Ewan, you say that people reloading their fists is silly, but is it?
Yes.
I mean, in that scene, I always took it to be Henry Cavill was just loosening up his arms. But, you know.
He's clearly reloading his fists.
I mean, if you've got a power fist and it's got some kind of, like, power source, like, technically you could reload the source. Anyway.
The range on your grenades is strength bonus times 3.
So
Strength bonus is doubled.
It is your net strength bonus times 3.
Okay, that's with all your unnatural...
Yes.
that's times 2, then plus another 2.
Coayah reloads arms.
What is your strength bonus?
Arms.
Well, my current strength bonus is 4. However,
Modified.
because I gained modified, it's about 10.
Mine's 12.
Yeah, because I think you've got 50, haven't you?
I've got 50 strength. Times up
Yeah,
by
I've only got 40. So
Yeah.
So
that means, and you can
I can throw a grenade 300 meters.
No, times 3.
Yes.
So you can fire if I'm just going to blankly assume the range rules are the same. You can fire up to double your standard range without accuracy penalties, which means Mackie can huck a grenade about 64 meters before he has to start putting his eye in carefully.
That kind of feels short, doesn't it?
64 meters.
Maybe not, I don't know.
64 meters is a fair distance.
It is a fair distance. For a space marine, that seems quite short.
Yeah, right? Like I feel like
12 times
NFL players huck things.
12 times 3.
And hit it. If you just want to huck something that small, significantly faster.
I'm throwing grenades, so I don't think I need to care that much. I need to get it in the vague area.
I'm going to take a guess here as well and say on average we're probably roughly 2 times the distance as any normal character.
I mean, yeah. It feels like I guess in American football you have people throwing shit that far with a kind of accuracy. I would have thought.
Longest shot put record.
A grenade is
23
not as heavy as a shot put.
meters. Yeah, no, but like you
Shot put. I'm not talking about hefting a cannonball, and that's the standard human. Like, okay, like longer.
Better off going with like a baseball pitch.
Well, those tend to be speed, though, don't they? They don't tend to do distance. You want to like
6 or 1.
Human grenades weigh about 200 grams, so if we scale up an Astartes grenade to weigh about a kilogram.
The
I
longest
think if
ever.
we're going into the actual like physics of it, we're getting a little sidetracked.
Yeah,
it's
you know what? I'm going to say entirely sidetracked. So what? You can breathe underwater and you can go into hibernation, but it turns out you don't have much of a throwing arm for grenades.
Can I still lob them? I'm not aiming for priority targets. I'm just throwing grenades at a large crowd of people.
I think that's probably fair. What are the actual range things as well? Sorry.
As you're looking it up, I did look it up. The longest throw in American football by a human was 90 meters.
Range.
So, and I would imagine American football is roughly the same size and weight. No, probably not the same weight.
They're not
the same
even
size,
vaguely the same size or weight as a Space Marine. But like, it's not even close. What?
Space Marine.
Let's just throw. Ewan, shall we say?
Yeah,
can I throw
use
these
the grenade
at
rules.
mine?
Just roll me a highest of ballistic skill or strength plus 0.
That is a fail, but I have fate points. That's a pass of 1 degree.
I'm also going to be throwing grenades. Shall I roll as well?
Sure. How many grenades are each of you throwing?
I'm going to throw
I'm throwing
just the one.
I'm going to throw 3 frags.
Okay. So let's start straight.
So you're throwing all your frags.
I brought more than 3 frags.
Oh, okay.
Well, I didn't bring more than 3 frags. I looted them off the corpses, but I brought more than 3 frags from the Stormbird.
We're not here to loot off our fallen brothers, are we?
Yeah, of course not.
Just
Says
appropriate.
Benji, and he's literally clinking.
No, sorry, I was looting Astartes equipment that could help with the mission. You people were trying to loot autocarriages. There's a difference.
Hey, who are you calling you people?
You know, he's not wrong. You were. Anywho, so that's how many DOS on yourself, Benji?
1.
1. And how many DOS on you, Mackie?
Oh, do we have any pluses to this? If it was
No.
a plus 10, I got a degree.
It was just
Then I failed by 1 degree of failure. I got 1 degree of failure.
Fair. It was the highest of ballistic skill or strength.
Yeah, I know. I have 50 strength and I have 50 ballistic skill.
Fair. Okay, so Mackie, you huck a single grenade. It lands. What?
If it's a strength-based test, then I have the plus 20, so yes, I passed.
Oh.
I mean, ideally, you should have
Forgot about
said
that.
whether it was strength or ballistic skill beforehand, but I guess we didn't do that for Benji either, so, fair.
Well, in that case, it's 2 degrees for me. If we're allowed to take strength with the plus 20s, damn you,
Yeah.
Deathwatch.
Really should have made you declare your characteristics.
Yeah.
So, Mackie, you huck a single grenade into... it lands more... what was it? 2 degrees of success? 1 degree of success.
1 degree of success. Now.
Yeah, it lands amidst a fairly densely packed squad of oncoming militia, screaming bloody murder and vengeance right up until the moment that they detonated a cloud of red mist and separated limbs. Coayah, on the other hand, lobs 3 in quick succession, one of which evidently takes a special weapons trooper of some kind as he goes up with an almighty bang, incinerating perhaps 12, 2 dozen, 3 dozen men nearby. The local technology evidently not as stable as they might like.
Aim for the ones with plasma guns.
Plasma guns mostly don't blow up on anyone but the person they vent on. That's part of the reason that I think the Imperium still uses them compared to a lot of other cooler shit, which is better but blows up on other people. In fact, plasma guns don't blow up, they vent. I think you're all officially onto the conveyor way at this point. No, there's 2 of you are still, I think, Mackie...
In the shop.
Providing fire support.
Mackie and Coayah are still back a ways, whereas the rest of you are halfway across the barricade. You have got a massive melee about to open up on the conveyor way as well. There's...
Are they likely to meet the conveyor before we get off?
Yes, they're already on the conveyor way coming from the opposite direction, but there's no traffic coming their way, so... Oh no, that means they're on the right-hand side of... fuck, I made a right-hand drive system.
They're coming from this way then.
Sorry, yes. No, they're coming from the barricade in front of you.
Okay, but you just said they were coming along the road. So along
Yeah,
roads.
no, there's 2 groups of men. You have... So basically, you had troop movements moving along the conveyor way, right? Going up the Lematic conveyor strut. Which means, as you've stopped troop movements, a load of those guys have now dismounted at the crossroads there, right in the middle, at the northeast corner of Zone Claire, and they're charging towards you, which is who you and Coayah were lobbing grenades at.
I would like to hammer throw my auto-carriage wreckage to the ongoing crowd.
That is entirely fair. Meanwhile, on the conveyor way, Kuzco, Coatlmox, and Nazeem are all charging into a separate but smaller crowd of soldiers charging out from behind the barricades they've set up in front of the anomalous power plant.
To this, why doesn't one of you use your auto carriage as a big shield and then the other stand behind him firing bolt guns? Like some kind of squad?
Of course, as soon as I've thrown my carriage, I shall charge into glorious melee combat.
Yes, I know.
That was my plan.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone wanting to throw their auto carriage at the enemy and then sprint into melee. I will take... What a phrase. I will take a strength at -20. If you get 3 DOS, it's a fair whack.
Right?
Remember, you get plus 20 because obviously you're Space Marines.
Yeah, then I'm -20.
Yeah, that means it's a... It's
Plus
neither
strength.
2 DOS. I need like a 16. It's not a 16.
Oh wait, no, but you get your unnatural strength anyway, so you're always going to have 3 DOS.
Oh god, you're right, yeah. Fuck me, yeah. Cool. All good.
Okay.
I'm going to spend my last fate and do it again. Can we double fate? I can't remember.
We didn't let it in another one, but I'm okay with you all double fating if you want to double fate. Fuck it, why not?
Hey.
Yeah, I think we tried it raw for, was it Nobles, I want to say? Okay, so that's 2 DOS from Coatlmox. Oh wait, no, remember, you get your unnatural as a plus.
Oh yeah, 2 DOS base.
So 3 DOS.
You don't have a natural 2, you have a natural times 2.
No, but it doesn't...
Ah, right.
Yeah, it's not a multiplier for this, it's an additive for this. It's a multiplier where it's... what's it called? It's a multiplier for your bonus, but it's added to your degrees of success. So what is that? 2 DOS from Coatlmox, 3 DOS from
Nazeem.
Nazeem, and Kuzco, what was your DOS? Carl?
Sorry, one failure.
Oh, one off. Fair. Okay, so Kuzco. We'll do it in order then, I guess. Order of throw. So Coatlmox throws first, and I usually like to incorporate the fate reroll into the description, but don't know how to do that with a single card toss that was rerolled twice. So
he did say he wanted to hammer toss it, so the first 2 spins he nearly goes over on himself, then rights himself gloriously like some kind of ballet dancer dancing along with his autocarriage as it flies from his hands and twats someone in the face.
I'm going to be honest, I can't picture what a hammer toss is.
It's the Olympic one where they spin around.
Oh, yeah. I see. Okay, so you go to start hammer tossing your autocarriage using your immense physical strength to heft this wreckage up in the air. Made somewhat more difficult by the fact that the second you're out of cover, you start getting peppered with a combination of lasgun fire and autogun fire, which is really starting to just chip away at the paintwork on your armor, leaving you a featureless grey mess. Which is a lot easier on the eyes. However, you just about pull it at the third toss, and with a mighty huck, you meet the fucking 3 DOS requirement to really fucking whammy it into them. With a mighty huck, your autocarriage goes flying through perhaps 30, 40, 50 of the, I think I said 90 guys coming towards you. Limbs fly out in all directions. People are crushed under the weight of other people, likewise crushed by this bowling ball of a car lobbed through the close-packed ranks. Followed shortly after, 2 DOS from Nazeem.
3 DOS from Nazeem.
Oh, 3 DOS from Nazeem. So Nazeem, same situation.
Even better.
No, 3 DOS, if you're killing about the same amount of people, means that you have denied yourself a melee, which explains why fucking Kuzco doesn't hit anyone. Because between fucking Coatlmox's and Nazeem's autocarriages, almost all of the onrushing horde are bowled under in a frenzied swarm of broken limbs and screaming men.
I think this is playing perfectly into why we just shoot Terminator armor at people later on, because of this quite clear efficiency and just killing hundreds of people.
A lot of them
our entire
our
entire tactica is based on the power of yeet.
Yes.
As I mentioned to Benji before the session, and I think mentioned last week, I will be building your Legion character off of how you behave. So everyone else has your gene seed. How you behave is how everyone's behaving. You're just typical.
Beautiful. Perfect.
The 2 of you push onwards, Kuzco's autocarriage flying after you, sadly hitting one guy.
Just the one guy who's like, I survived both of them. It's like last car goes.
Which gives the 3 of you clear room to sprint across the conveyor way and into the barricades, which are now somewhat depopulated, having left their covered position and fortified gun posts to go into a mass melee charge, which would doubtless have worked, maybe, if they hadn't immediately been mown down. I mean, they just saw you guys get hit by a autocarriage. It can't be that damaging, right?
Brother Coayah, I suggest we go join them. There is an opportunity for a glorious battle ahead.
Indeed, brother.
And you only dealt with the smaller horde. The larger horde's still coming down the conveyor way quite rapidly. So from you 2, I will take a brace of athletics tests.
Can I huck one... Is a crack grenade just infinitely more effective against humans, or is it still just...
It's effective against a couple of humans. A crack grenade is anti-tank, so the blast radius on it is bollocks. But it will really wreck the people it hits. At the same time, your frag grenades are already wrecking them anyway.
Are there any autocarriages near me that I can yeet towards the larger crowd coming towards us?
Yes, but if you recall, the crowd coming towards you numbers in the low hundreds, whereas the crowd across the road was 90.
I look at Brother Coayah. What do you think?
Brother, I think we should close the distance and you should shoot them with your Volkite. It proves so wonderfully on the beach.
We charge into the larger horde of the low hundreds. That seems to be what you're suggesting,
brother, is something wrong? You seem to have selective hearing loss.
Brother, I agree, and their kill numbers are getting a little too high.
Yeah.
As long as Benji's there to support, I'm happy to, yeah. I don't have a huge amount of ammo left. I think I'm down to like 25.
Basically, we just need to move onto the highway, establish a shooting position, and bring the Volkite to bear.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm
That
down
will break
for that.
any brother. That will break any charge. Watching their friends, their loved ones, and their comrades get blown away by the might of Mars.
I shall make sure to only aim for the loved ones to generate the most amount of emotional damage.
You do that.
And so, rather than
Yes.
break into an all-out run to cross the conveyor way, they instead go into a swift roadie run to reach a point roughly in the middle, but not even in the middle, actually. Probably the most fortified position on the conveyor way is going to be what was until recently Kuzco's nest. Repurposing the ruins of it as a sort of improvised bunker.
Improvised fire base.
Yeah.
We shall
I mean,
name this Firebase Alpha.
Firebase loved ones.
Everyone else has been playing forward, so that's Kuzco, Coatlmox, and Nazeem. A fucking tactical marker pings up on your internal HUD behind you, labelled Firebase Alpha.
Nice.
Is the rest of the team just there like, what?
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
I'll mark the previously occupied fort as Firebase Beta and move into the or the barricade rather.
We'll get to the barricades in a second. There's still people for you to fight there.
All right.
Okay, Squad Team 2. What's your plan here? What are you doing?
So I will heft the bolt gun back to Benji. I am then going to sit my Volkite incinerator on top of something. I don't know if maybe I could get some sort of cover over me, but I'm happy just to put it up and then, or like find a gap in the destroyed.
I'll put the cover up while you're getting set up, to be fair.
Yeah, okay. And then I will fire through that gap, siphoning through legs, knees, arms, head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
You're building a fucking improvised pillbox out of used auto carriages.
And the corpses inside of them, don't forget them.
A lot of them aren't corpses, if you'll recall. A lot of them are just wriggling wounded, soon to die.
We are
Yeah.
taking the glorious lead of the 4th and digging in.
I tell the corpses, the soon-to-be corpses in the cars, be proud you are dying for a noble cause. That's the Gregorious side of me coming out.
Okay, I will take... Roll me... Do you have any relevant tactical skills or laws here, Ollie?
I have Common Law War, Hearth Wisdom, and Scholastic Law Demolitions.
Did you actually buy Hearth Wisdom?
Hey, you said we all got it for free.
No, I said you could buy it.
I swear you said we... Okay, well, in which
You
case-
can buy it, but you're not getting it for free.
Oh, I thought you said
You
we
can
got it
spend
for free.
cold, hard XP on it. Slam.
I have Common Law... I have Common Law War.
You also have Scholastic Law Primer Imperialis, which is
Oh, yeah.
Fair.
your
Okay,
Space Marine training,
I will take...
because we're goddamn trained Space Marine.
I will take Scholastic Law Primer Imperialis over Ballistic Skill.
Sure.
Mean, this is a pillbox at a +10. This is, I guess, actually a fairly standard thing. Not the way you're doing it, but the principle.
The principle's the same. Yeah, 60 or under them.
Can I
make it.
assist him?
No, you're doing the pillbox construction. And for you, Benji,
Okay.
same situation. Different core characteristic, though. So for you, I will take Tactica Imperialis over Strength, please.
Okay. Do I get my bonus for being a Space Marine?
Yeah, you're hefting cars around.
Huzzah!
Cars, auto-carriages.
That is a pass of 4 degrees.
Yeah, despite
Brother,
the fact
I am
that-
fortifying this position.
Despite the fact that he wasn't in here for long, Kuzco seems to have done a remarkably good job of building what you can only call a nest.
Brother, your handiwork is most impressive.
I learned at the hands of the fine smiths of the 7th and the 4th, brother.
Yes, brother.
The skirmish on the conveyor way gets out of hand really quite quickly. You have a surprisingly robust fortification, and this being 40k, and apparently everyone's grenade arms being utterly wank, you're worryingly far out of their grenade reach, or at least average grenade reach as well. Which means that as the hordes charge towards you, the more sensible ones beginning to take cover behind auto carriages as they do, they're firing their las guns, but you have the occasional bolt pistol shell from Coayah to assist you, and then once they get within range of the Volkite charger, I will take a D15 for your ammunition, please, Ollie.
Sure.
7. The charger starts doing its work. A target-rich environment. It ignores cover, right, Benji?
It has spray.
This is a beam, yeah.
Yeah, it's a beam, so even the ones who have taken cover behind nearby autocarriages soon find that it's a functionally ineffective defense, as even though the beam doesn't do a huge amount of damage to the cars it's hitting, it does hit everything past them, allowing you to flens and flens and flens, disintegrating entire squads as they charge forwards. Screams go up, the horde rears backwards, 100 men, 150 disintegrated in the blink of an eye, or the blink of several eyes and multiple cycles. But that makes little difference for being slightly less poetic to the vague mist that was formerly the local militia, as it drifts backwards onto onto their horrified compatriots. I would usually say that they get off enough heavy weapons shots and just general volume of las and autogun fire back for them to, at least get a chance at damaging you. But what was your DOS again, Benji? Was it 5?
4.
4. Yeah, 4 DOS is enough for a crit-ish success on building the improvised bunker.
I have fortified this position.
You have fortified this position. You take a few hits here and there, sure, maybe even the odd grenade blast, but nothing that does more than scratch off more of that awful, awful paintwork. Meanwhile, the other part of the squad, you're about to crash into the barricades. There's still dozens and dozens of men here, but they're now looking significantly horrified, having seen their former the charge of their bravest compatriots utterly annihilated. What do?
Just
Continue into them.
Yeah.
Advance up into them.
That's fine. You're going to hit them. You're going in an all-out run. You are charging after your autocarriages. What are you doing when you hit them? How are you handling this barricade?
It's my broomstick.
Yeah, I'll be chainsword only, doing a sort of breach and clear. I don't know how the barricade is, but if it's got any sort of trench-like network or corridor, I'll bust in, cut up.
Depending on what you want to do, it might do. So it's a barricade and a hive, which means it's to an extent going to be 3D. You're currently at the surface level, but there's almost certainly levels below as well if you want to go for those too.
Yeah. I'll sort of go for the deepest part. Real clean up.
Okay. Fun with tunnel fighting. I will take...
Oh, death.
No. Appreciate the ideas I'd reference, but no. I don't have to die, just because I play the NPCs and I do most of the dying doesn't mean that I have to die. Maybe someday someone else will die. I will take basic attacks from all three of you. I assume weapon skill unless you're getting bolt pistols out.
That's what it's to me.
Given their talks towards glorious melee, I doubt it.
Yeah.
Chainswords.
You got any fate there, Coatlmox?
No, I used it all hocking that auto carriage.
What's,
No regrets, though.
So, Nazeem and Kuzco, a little ways behind you, are absolutely fine. Does anyone... You know what? I know what happens with Coatlmox. So, as the other two of you catch up, and I was going to say Coatlmox hangs back a little bit for you, but no, he probably doesn't actually, which means Coatlmox, as you arrive at the barricades, there is an almighty explosion which catches you full in the face. And out of through the spray of assaulted detritus and destroyed barricade, comes another of those terrible, flailing anomalies, flying, burning, lightning arcing out from their hands, already arcing towards you. I'll take a dodge roll at -20, please.
Yep.
To not get hit by the crippling electro... I was going to say electro lightning, but that's redundant.
The God Emperor is not with you, brother.
Go on,
dear.
So the God Emperor doesn't exist yet.
If the pattern continues, yeah, exactly, it's just the Emperor. 94 to 97, so if the pattern continues, you're scheduled for 100 next. I'll give you 10 XP if you get 100 next.
Ooh.
10 XP.
You'll probably die if he gets 100 next.
That'd be great. Yeah, fails to dodge, gets hit by the bio-lightning, which means... Oh, do we have... We do have psychic powers, don't we? Do you think we actually have bio-lightning stats in this? Let's see if they're suitable.
They have smite, yeah.
I was about to mock, but you know what? I'm glad you know where it is, Nicholas. Do you know where Smite is?
I was just scrolling past it. It's 195.
Does young Nick know where the psychic powers
It's extremely helpful, but I'm really biting my tongue on the fucking what a warpy bullshit that is. 195, you say?
Yes.
Smite.
Codex powers.
I feel like this.
Energy damage. Oh boy. That is 60-10.
Ooh.
10-6.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
Spicy.
Good thing we've got somebody who wants to be an apothecary near him.
I wasn't trained for this.
We
Ooh,
literally were.
that's not the below average roll I wanted to see.
No, that is not.
It's like 44 damage, pen 6 to the body.
You do have true grit, so any critical damage you take, you halve.
Sure. Let me work this out. 10-6, was it?
Oh.
I'll say.
Oh, you also have, I think True Grit also allows you to ignore any critical effects until the end of the round.
That's never die.
Oh, never die. I swear we start with something, we do have something that lets us, it's an armor stat. There's something in the armor that lets us resist, what's it called? 6 doses pain suppressor. Ignore critical effects for 1d10 rounds. You have 6 doses of that.
Yeah, I got that made.
What's your wound situation looking like, Creed?
I've taken 41 damage total. My wound is 21.
So that is that going to be an insta kill?
Double his crit wound. So yeah.
But they are halved. But it's still it's just enough for an insta kill. We finally found what I need to do to kill you. High tier psychers.
I mean, it's just we finally found it. We add more D10s.
I mean, to be fair, that was using the fucking rulebook rules. I've yet to actually kill you with homebrew stuff.
So how does crit stuff work again? Is the crit damage every point of damage I am above current wounds or total wounds?
Yes, basically.
Okay, 20 crit damage.
Yeah, you only take the one you arrive at, though. You don't take each sequential one. So you would just skip straight to 20. I mean, 20 halved down to 10, so you take the final one, and then immediately die or burn.
They're all lethal, aren't they?
Oh yeah, 10s are always lethal. Let's have a look.
What health were you at when you started?
Yeah.
I was at 11, and then took another 30 damage, which knocked me straight to 20 crit.
20 crit. Oh, what's your max health?
21.
So, isn't crit damage double your...
No.
Oh, no,
just 10.
It's always 10.
Yeah.
Energy to the body. The target is completely encased. The target is completely encased in fire, melting his skin and popping his eyes like superheated eggs. He falls to the ground a blackened corpse. And then for 10, it's as above, except in addition, if the target is carrying any ammunition, there is a 50% chance it explodes. Unless they can make a successful dodge test, all creatures within 1d5 meters take 1d10 plus 5 explosive damage. If the target carried any grenades or missiles, 1 round after the damage was dealt, they detonate where the target's body lies with the normal effects. So Creed, let's see how your ammunition does. Call me odds or evens.
Some spectacular fucking cook-off.
Evens.
That means he fails. It means he goes boom.
Yeah, your ammunition detonates. Would you like to burn a fate point?
Yes.
I mean, you're getting a medal for this, right?
You're going to be our first, if not Terminator.
Dreadnought.
You're going to be our first Dreadnought.
It only burnt off all of his skin and both his eyes. You can
walk that. He can walk that off.
You got Sin Skin and Cyber Eyes.
We have the technology. We have the money.
Yeah, we literally do.
Now, when it says I can ignore crit effects for 1d10 rounds, does that mean I can just see?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it does. Basically, what's happening there is your eyes should stop functioning, but you manage to keep going just about somehow until the painkillers wear off and I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know.
If you ignore critical effects for 1d10 rounds, you could theoretically throw all your ammunition away so you don't blow up again.
This one of the tens. If you get a headshot, is your head literally gets blown off your head, and because of the wording on "never die," you can just ignore it.
It is better scrap.
Yeah, do you not remember Carl got that in like way back in the first ever Dark Heresy campaign?
Yeah.
Like right in battle, his head exploded, burnt fate, and then was like spent the remainder of the campaign, like that last session, with he was deaf, dumb, and blind, but he could still feel the sense of touch as people moved towards him to try and take his booze from him. So he was sat there with a shotgun and only alcohol left in his life, resisting any attempt to give him medical attention.
Good
I didn't know they were trying to help me.
No, I mean, not all of them were. One person was trying to help you. Everyone else was trying to take your booze. Whilst you were defenseless. You had a shotgun and the will to team kill.
Just to confirm, is that clips in guns as well?
Yes, that's everything.
Oh god, he's got no ammunition.
I didn't use much anyway.
To be fair,
I mean, there's just more to explode.
You could just throw your grenades and they just will auto-explode.
He's not in a good state for it. You know what? I was going to say he's not in a good state for it, but fuck it. You're a space marine. Test your toughness. Let's see how you come out of it. We know how you've come out of it, but let's see how stunned you are by this.
Oh my god, Creed.
A 99.
The Emperor hates you today.
Lightning 94, 97, 99. So close to that 100. It still fits the pattern. If you still get 100 on your next roll, I'll give you 20 XP.
20 XP.
Will to fail. The anomaly blasts forwards, lightning arcing out from its fingertips. You are enveloped in a purplish, tinged electrical arc. Your armor cooks, and as your armor cooks, rapidly within it you cook, flash firing like every single militia member you've seen get hit by an exploded lithogolem so far. Your eyes burn. It feels like they're just on the cusp of exploding like overripe eggs. You are wreathed in flame. Your ammunition cooks off, sending bolt shells and bursts of energy every which way. Your armor is all but total. It's not even slightly atmospherically sealed at this point. You would definitely need to have severe maintenance. And yeah, with a 99, you pass out for a brief instant, giving you the complete appearance of being dead as your burning husk of probably a corpse, were you anyone other than you, collapses backwards onto the conveyor way, not even twitching, not even gently smouldering. You're outright on fire. Skin crackling and pulping and bursting out from the cracks and seams in your armor. Electrical arcs of your own sparking out. Kuzco and Nazeem don't actually initially see this. They hear the explosion, but plenty of things have exploded around and on you before, and you always seem to have it. They've leapt into the trenches and are hacking away when, as they begin to meet in the middle, surrounded by viscera and destroyed militia, they realize that the thing they're hacking their way towards is not a blood-stained Coatlmox. Instead, it is a levitating anomaly, screaming in wordless rage, charging up for another electrical attack. Kuzco and Nazeem, what do?
Throw a crack grenade at it.
No.
Okay. I mean, we can establish their soak is not that high. And Astartes crack grenade, 3d10 plus 4. Yeah, an Astartes crack grenade will almost certainly kill it. You'd have to roll really low. I will take a ballistic seal check at plus 10.
Is it not strength?
No, because you're trying to hit it, right?
Yeah, the strength one for us was just so we could fucking
Oh,
lob
I
the
see.
thing.
Yeah, exactly, because they were lobbing into a horde at a distance. This is not that far away from you at all.
How close is it going to be to Creed's not a corpse, but basically a corpse?
Oh, he exploded backwards quite heavily, so he's way out of range. Like, it's a crack grenade as well, so they've got like a 1
It's
meter
quite
blast.
small. It's just like fuck tons of damage. We're not doing. plus 10 base, or
Yeah, I'm just giving you plus 10 base.
cool? Because we're not getting anything. We're not doing standard rules or anything, are we? So,
I mean, you can argue if you want like different combat actions or something that aren't just.
as I say, because as Space Marines, we can half action full aim.
Yeah, I'm not giving you aim.
Okay,
Otherwise,
cool.
you just like half action, full aim on everything.
Yeah.
Which would be fine if we were doing detailed combat.
Fair enough. I don't think I have anything else to help me on this, unfortunately. So we'll see how this goes.
I believe in you. You've got fate.
Yes.
The Emperor is with Nazeem.
Okay. Yeah.
You Creed.
What are you huck? What's your cry here as you huck this thing?
Brother!
Nope.
It's, yeah, leave my brother alone! You filth!
Your eyes taking in the form of Coatlmox, loyal Coatlmox, who 80% of the time backed you to the hilt, and the other 20% of the time really wanted to but couldn't quite bring himself. And with that, your crack grenade flies out. I will take your damage roll, please. 3d10 plus 4 for an Astartes crack. Pen 6.
3d4, did you say?
3d10
I like how it gets a pen 6 right back at it.
So I didn't hear that.
3d10 plus 4.
Plus 4. Plus 4. Do I get any impact damage for it hitting them?
3d10 plus 5.
Okay. Does that mean I get to add my strength?
That's a pretty tasty roll.
23 net damage, pen 6, means that you hit the screaming anomaly as it charges up for another attack. Directly in... What did you roll? 13. So that's a leg shot. You hit it in the crotch.
God damn it, buddies! Stop shooting people in the dick!
In an instant, it's evaporated. Blood, bones, and gore. Blood, bones, and gore flying in every direction, leaving an almost surprised look on its comical bust of a torso, which collapses neatly down to the ground, the head living for just a few seconds more. It is at this point that you fully twig and realize, holy shit, what a fucking state Coatlmox is in. As he's burning and on fire. You've not completely cleaned the barricades out, but you have broken them. Let's just link back to the other group real quick. Coayah and Mackie.
Did we not want to do stuff with Carl there?
It's a good
Who
question.
might want to render aid to his stricken brother?
Yeah, I just thought we'd spend a lot of time on those guys once.
Yeah, but then Carl didn't get anything to do.
That's fine. Kuzco.
Yeah, I was just gonna check up on Coatlmox. I mean, I know he's fucked, but if we can save his gene seed, then like that's the important.
Exactly.
Very true. You don't have enough to see him, but you have a vague idea where it is, right? You can probably just reach in, it'll be fine. As long as you cut around it and just take extra, it'll be fine.
I like the idea of you
Get
looking
ice.
down and going, shit's fucked, yo.
I mean, push comes to shove, just take off the arms and legs and head.
I mean, like ultimately, I don't really think much of them goes outside of the torso region. Like.
They're glands. They're probably like close to the armpit or something.
No, one is in the
No,
neck and the other's in the base of the chest.
Yeah,
Space
and I
Marine
mean, like
chest
the
is-
gene seed's the whole shebang, though.
Yeah. Oh, no, they're like fleshy organs that you remove, but there's a lot of them in there. You need
Yeah, it's kind of what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole setup, not just like you get a single box and you're done.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, yeah. Kuzco. I've got two ways I can phrase this, Carl. Do you want the nice way or the mean way? For the record, the nice and mean to Cread, not to yourself.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, if it's to me, like make it as naughty as possible. But I guess
you
we'll
don't
be
have the
nice.
naughty and nice way. Okay, nice way. Okay. In that case, I will take a Medicaid roll at minus 30, please.
What was the mean way of saying that?
I'll tell you after the roll.
You say minus 30, right?
Yeah.
What's my... Yeah, is it 1 or 2? It's just 1. Minus 30, you said, right?
Yep.
Alright. 40 or under. Oh, I'm gonna fake that just for you, Cread. Ah!
47 down to 44. Big oof. So
The Emperor really does want him dead, doesn't he?
Yeah, he really does seem to. The mean way. The mean way.
This True Grit, does that help at all?
What?
True Grit.
Not,
It would have reduced
not
the amount
after
of
he's
crit
taken
damage
the
he
damage.
took. Yeah, it would have reduced the amount of crit damage he took. The problem is he took so much.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
If he'd taken a point less, he would have been okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude with that one. It's just that question was like 20 minutes late, and I was a bit stunned by his corpse has exploded twice since then.
I'm not sure if it did anything for healing as well, but okay.
Yeah. So, the mean way of saying it is more or less the same as the failed way, which is to say he's pretty fucked. Like, your medical diagnosis is he's dead in there. You stamp out the fires and like throw dirt on him. Manually roll him. He's already stopped and dropped. Sorry, was that too soon? But there's almost no way that anyone could survive that, even a space marine. It is at about that point that Coatlmox rears up, refusing to die.
Brothers, I have sustained damage.
Indeed it is so.
Like to try and re-environmentally seal my suit with my repair cement.
Oh,
Just like cement everywhere.
I'm not going to give you a difficulty. I'll give you a tech use. You get a 1, you can have it. But this is using all your repair cement.
No.
78. No. You do your best to get the core areas, and it stops some of your molten skin leaking out, but not most of it. Yes, so per your medical diagnosis there, Kuzco, he should be dead. He's not dead right now. You're not really sure why. It looks like his brain is flash fried. Checking your squad biometrics indicates that his eyes have melted down his face. And if we recall from his overly large chin, that means that they're probably like pooling somewhere just under the remains of his burnt nose. It would be a rather unfortunate smell if his helmet wasn't filled with the scent of his own cooked flesh.
It's probably okay. You doubt you can smell anywhere at this point.
Probably not. Although it didn't explicitly blow up his sense of smell. The only sight he's actually lost, the only sense he's lost is sight.
And only truly once I've run out of the old pain suppressors.
Oh, that's... Can you put... Yeah, you can put those in after the fact. So... You think his eyes have melted, it looks like they have, but he seems to be intermittently capable of a surprising amount of... You know what? No, fuck it. Your eyes have melted. You can pain suppress well enough to do basic echolocation. That is what I will give you.
Just walking around, it's like, Marco, hello!
The power of hate gives him the power of vision.
I mean, I assume he's revving his chainsword as his method of...
What, like the bikers from South Park?
Yeah.
So, squad, what do? And indeed, Nazeem, what do? Overall, what do? You've got two of you holding down a pillbox back on the road, for giving definition of pillbox. One extremely wounded squad member. Your medical diagnosis, Kuzco, is that a single shot could kill him at any junction.
Jesus.
Oh, actually, no, that's unfair, because you died and burnt your face, so you'll reset down to 0 wounds. So he's actually, even at this level, is extremely durable. But a decently placed shot could still kill him.
Okay. Do we have high ground here, or is it still level to the...
no, you're colossally exposed. If you get into the power plant, you might have high ground, but there's no telling how many more defenders there are in there. And
Can I vox the rest of the squad, or at least one person within the rest of the squad? Here are my thoughts. Was this an anti-grav? Was this an anti-grav autocarriage that we turned into a pillbox?
No, the anti-grav one was the one that hit
Right.
Coatlmox.
Okay, so there might be the odd wheel left. My thoughts are this: that we put Coatlmox in the pillbox and we push it forward.
You want to try and build him a mobile carriage?
I was just going to drag him, to be fair, but I figure he can walk himself at this point.
Yeah,
well, the options are we leave. Well, no, because the options are we leave him for the reinforcement waves to sweep in and pick him up, or we take him
I
with
can
us.
still move.
walk. Yeah.
I'm conscious. I'm just a bit blind.
I don't know this at that point. All I know is the squad biometrics have been whack.
At the moment, they're just mostly saying I don't have any eyes, but
Yeah.
I'm
He's
vaguely
fine.
stable.
He'll be fine.
Damn it! Why can't we build a mobile build?
Are there any crates of grenades lying around?
Why would there be crates of grenades lying
Yeah,
around?
because it was a defensive barricade around a priority target. I was it's not necessarily the bad ask. If anywhere's going to have stocks of munitions, probably not a crate of grenades. But yeah, well, what do you want them for, Nazeem? We can do a roll on this.
I want to cluster bomb the charging forces so that our two remaining brothers can come to us.
Oh yeah, you can lay down covering. Let's have a look then.
Yeah, I want a box of them, pull the pin on one, and then throw them all.
From either yourself or Kuzco, I will take scrutiny over perception. I don't think Coatlmox is any longer eligible for it.
Can he smell grenades?
I can smell the sweet smell of
Hypothetically,
gunpowder.
under good conditions, potentially. Right now is not a good condition, as his eyes pool under his nose.
I'm assuming this is site-based.
Yes, yourself or Kuzco, either way.
Cool. So we get a plus 10 for that.
You're really rubbing it in, aren't you?
God damn it. My perception is 38. How about you, Kuzco? Mr. Carl.
Why don't you just give an assist?
That's true.
Yeah, I can assist you. I'm only at 30, so...
Okay, cool. So plus 20 then, net.
What's Coatlmox doing as the two of you run around the barricades looking for stuff?
Nope. I'm going
Hanging
to...
out.
Okay. I definitely find something.
Two, I fucking...
That's
After
5
a
degrees of
brief-
success.
After a brief conversation over the radio, during which Coayah espoused that he was doubtful there would just be a crate of grenades lying around. Why? That's such a risk and so dumb on so many levels. You're running around desperately within the barricades, trying to find something that will allow you to lay down covering fire to help the rest of your squad get across the conveyor so you can get presumably inside the power plant for cover. When you stub your toe, even through your power armor, notice this is just incredibly unlucky, and as you look down, see that you have walked directly into a giant crate of grenades. Nazeem, what do?
Quick technical thing. 40k grenades, are they like a push button? Are they a pull pin?
Depends on the grenade. What are you after? You got 5 degrees of success?
Push button, basically, so I can quickly go push, 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 and then just go hook!
I will let you roll on it.
Brother, why not save them for when we arrive? Then we can manually set them off after we throw them with the Volkite incinerator.
If you do remember, if that goes wrong, young Nicholas...
Oh, yes, I'm aware.
We have another Creed situation on our
Yeah,
hands.
that's the thing. That's a lot of grenades.
My
Yeah,
phone
it
sword
is.
senses danger. Take a step back.
I'm aware.
Backwards.
Sorry, okay. Kuzco, what are you up to at this point? As you see Nazeem eyeing up this crate of grenades extremely worryingly.
Yeah, I'm going to secure the perimeter. And by that, I mean make my way to a safe distance.
Making my way downtown. Out
Alright.
of grenades.
Sure.
I'll vox our brothers saying, covering fire incoming!
There's me, fully expecting bolt shells to start appearing out of nowhere.
This is
when
going
it
to
starts,
be,
run for us!
this is going to be what skill would I give you for the agility here, Nazeem?
I feel like this would be a throw skill, right?
Do we have throw?
It's a general kind of cluster AoE huck as hard as I can.
No,
so
that's going to be separate because you want to speed activate the grenades first, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to be you're going to push a bunch of them and then speed huck it.
Yeah. I like a big wide open hand kind of going push, 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 push. Big hands, right? So I can get quite a few.
I think this is sleight of hand.
Which you do have basic knowledge of.
Nope, it is an advanced skill.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry, my bad.
I will take sleight of hand over agility at a minus 20. Oh, what are you doing there?
Whenever I say this skill, I try and use it wrong, but we argue gamble?
He has a point. This is a gamble.
I love the intro to that as well.
You use,
Hang about.
called shots, maybe? To make it slightly, I don't know if that makes it slightly easier.
No, you're thinking far too rationally, Ollie. This is your classic young Nicholas moment. Just let him be. He's going to blow himself up and then surprise Pikachu face. It'll be fine.
Okay, I'm also looking at the minus 10.
The character uses the gamble skill when participating in games of chance and other countless how is this a skill? No, this is not. This is not an instance of gambling.
Why are we trained in gambling?
Something to do.
Do I get a bonus like just like pre-thinking like I'm gonna go that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that? Like I order out in my head like these are the ones I can get.
What is the skill you're hoping for there? It's the only one I can think of is logic, and I don't think this is a logic roll.
I guess it's planning of some sort.
Planning does not have a skill. Sleight of hand over agility at a minus 20, please, Nicholas.
Whilst he's doing this, can I just vox him with
Evaluate?
Brother, merely set one of your grenades aside the box and wait for it to blow. Then lure the horde towards it.
I don't think you can see what he's doing. I think he just said covering fire is incoming.
He did, yeah. We're both just expecting
That's
a bolt shell.
Okay, so out of character, just do that. In character, I don't know.
Wait, you out of character? You think what?
Young Nicholas, we've been scimitariing over this.
Yes,
do it
exactly.
Or don't do it. Either way is fine. Pick one.
Is evaluate okay for trying to plan out?
It is sleight of hand over agility at minus 20 in order to do it. If you fuck up, you will blow up the grenades as you are throwing them. Or as you're turning them on.
Just roll it.
As I throw them.
Because you're trying to activate a shit ton of grenades, and if you don't, and then huck it. Do you see what happens if you don't manage to activate your shit ton and huck it in time?
Yes, but I don't want to scimitar. I don't. All I'm saying is, if I take longer than 3 seconds to start activating, I'll just huck all of them. I'm not going to wait around to let them all explode in my face.
That was the exact plan you pitched with waiting around. They're grenades. They're
Nick, just make the roll or don't.
Either make the roll or don't, Nicholas.
Okay, if I'm just blow myself up by failing this roll, then no. If I was failed doing the other roll, then yes.
That is fine, but that is what we've been saying to you for the last 10 minutes. It's that you will blow yourself up. Carl and the blind character recused themselves to the other side of the barricade.
I thought you were talking about the second roll when I was actually throwing them. That was I was okay with.
You could also have blown yourself up there, but I was less
that one I'm fine with risking that one. It's this one I'm not happy with risking.
Okay, in that case, what are you doing with a box of grenades? Or, Kuzco, what are you doing with a box of grenades? As Nazeem seems to be waffling a bit. No, Kuzco.
I'm doing nothing with a box of grenades.
From that facial
I'm getting the fuck out.
Okay, in which case, handful, bomb, huck.
Okay, so you're gonna take...
Is that okay?
Huck handfuls. That makes a lot more sense than trying to activate most of the crate and hucking that simultaneously.
Yeah. My apologies. Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay, man. It happens. Everyone does this. Fuck knows I waffle like crazy. We've all got our little idiosyncrasies. I waffle. Benji gets mad about guns in melee. Ollie talks over people. Other things. I forget stuff.
How many spacemen had? 3, 4?
Yeah, they're small. You know what? We're not going to do the exact numbers of this here, Nicholas. You're trying to mass activate them and huck them out.
Yeah.
I will take...
Clusterbomb.
Roll me athletics over strength.
If I don't see this roll appear in 10 seconds...
DOS.
A key.
I mean, fuck it, you're a spaceman. Just throw the box and shoot it with a bolter.
It's a 56, so 3 degrees, I think. Oh, plus the 2, so that's 5 degrees.
Back in the pillbox, Nazeem and Mackie.
Nazeem and Mackie?
Koayah and Mackie.
Koayah and Mackie. What am I talking about? Koayah and Mackie. You've seen people get closer and closer. You've been keeping them at bay with assorted shots, mostly from smaller guns. But the hordes are staying firmly away from out of your heavy weapons range, whilst trying to just pour fire downhill, which is slowly, or downstream, which is slowly eroding even your mighty cover. When people just start exploding, like huge crowds of them, gobbets of limbs flying out every which way. Sorry, Benji's been frozen for me for the longest time, and I'm only just now realizing that.
Oh, no, my thing crashed on Roll20, I'll reload it.
Oh, fair. Sorry, I thought your head was bowed in disdain this entire time.
No, there you
go. There we go.
See?
A gap has been created. What do? Or, well, I say a gap, but like a gap in their advance. You already had a clear run.
It's going to be overtly difficult to make this pillbox ambulatory, isn't it?
Extremely within the time you've got.
Should we just try and pull it back towards the door, maybe?
You've got to get it. No. Remember, you're only just into the conveyor way. You'd have to pull it across 100. You know what? If anyone's going to, there are 2 space marines. I would let you roll for it, but you'd be pushing it across like 150 meters of ruined conveyor way.
I feel like we can just make another amazing pillbox once we get to the door, if required.
Not sure we need it once we get to the door or something. Screw it. Yeah, we'll just break out and move to help our fellows.
I radio brother Coayah. Brother, what sort of fire is he covering us with?
It looks like far too many grenades.
Yeah, I would usually make you roll to run without getting hit, but by the time you reach Nazeem, he's fishing out the last grenade from the crate, and much of the conveyor way is in utter ruins.
So he can throw 150 meters then, is what I'm hearing
here. Shut up. You goddamn munchkin applying your facts.
I'm in charge. That's why I can throw further.
It's the authority of command.
So mad right now.
You know what? Yeah, that's what we're doing. Command is now the grenade throw skill. Ollie is responsible.
Good. I actually had quite a lot of points in that.
Okay. I'm so angry right now.
Some of us get to use grenades, Ollie.
See, the key is confusing the GM for long enough before you start throwing.
I see. So you knew all along that was a large range.
What do? You've cleared most of the barricade. There's still assorted people around, but you're basically at the very side entrance to the anomalous power plant. The hordes behind you have been beaten back a little bit, and you're actually in something of a minor lull in the fighting.
Are any of them still alive?
What, people around here?
People around here, yes.
Certainly, it would not be a huge amount of work to catch someone either.
Right, I would like to grab any of them that are still extant and start to interrogate them.
What are you hoping for?
Troop numbers inside. What weapons they're armed with? Are there any more of those strange things with their lightning and their strangeness?
That's just technology.
I have interrogation.
Question, guys.
Yeah.
There's several dead around us. Why don't you just eat them?
Because that takes time.
I'm not going to take my helmet off.
I mean, interrogations are going to take time as well, right?
I mean,
I see the point, but
a little voice in the back of your head suggests that you don't actually need to ask your squad.
You know what? You can start interrogating. I'm going to start eating the one that had electricity around it.
That seems like a terrible idea.
See, my character believes it's Nick knows it's not tech.
Oh dear. Eat the wizard brain. Just like
in character.
And I'd like, specifically, you did mention that the top half was still intact.
The best part is...
I didn't even say top half, I said the top bust. You've got, like, shoulder blades. More or less a perfectly preserved brain and bugger all.
Perfect!
This is not Nick is eating a wizard brain. This is literally the second time this has happened now.
Do we have... Is there rules in the rulebook? Does anyone know what
I think there are, yeah.
In any case, whilst young Nicholas is consuming the chaos directly into his stomach,
I'll go in the background.
Can the rest of us be rolling to interrogate this person?
Yeah.
Well,
I'd like to help with interrogation by eating in the background so that they can see me eating their
These are going to be separate roles, I think. If nothing else, the rest of your squad's clearly disdaining it. So this is going to be Kuzco and Coayah were interrogating, it sounded like. Yeah, Nicholas, can you find the rules for me, please, whilst we're doing this?
Yeah, I'll have a look around for them.
Cool.
Can I insist the interrogation by slowly taking off my helmet to reveal I have no eyes, and then putting it back on?
He's got a point.
Just gonna
Carl,
pull them out.
what are you rolling for your intimidate?
Oh, not intimidate, interrogation.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't have
That
that.
will be clarified, like what the role
Sweaty.
was.
Oh, I
that
don't have
had.
that.
Carl's interrogate is... Sorry, just going to see he's away from his PC. Carl's interrogate is... He is trained in it, and it rolls over willpower
60.
standard. Yeah, 50 or under.
Oh, 50.
I will definitely give you a plus 10 for the nightmarish visage that is Coatlmox. Bearing in mind, like, as he removes his helmet, it visibly degloves what remains of his face. And that is not a clean degloving either. You ever seen when you burn yourself a little bit on the stove? Imagine that, but it's in your entire face. In, like, cheese grater fashion.
Okay, whilst he's doing that, I would like to set up and establish a defensive perimeter, and take up a position to overwatch anything trying to attack us.
I don't think that's... you know what? We'll let you roll for it, but it's probably going to be quite... I don't know, because you could scout somewhere that's going to be easy to defend, like a little room or something.
There's enough debris, and we are at a barricade.
Stop fortifying positions, you!
No,
I've posted rules in Roll20.
you can't stop me.
Thank you.
It will be a
what I was
chapter
meant
tradition
to-
by the end.
It was what I was meant to do, Ewan. It's what I'm meant to do.
I see what it is. I say, how you behave is how the Legion will behave. You immediately start cosplaying the Imperial Fists. Is that what this is, Benji? You son of a bitch.
This is my Billy Elliot moment.
We just drop enough Terminators
Don't let
down
my
to form a
dreams be
wall,
dreams.
I'll kill
right?
you. I'll kill you
and that
all.
becomes like an entrenched position.
So
Cread,
mad.
Cread, this
Okay.
can be for you. I posted it in Discord.
So, well, let's see what level of fortified, secured position you have, Benji. Tactica Imperialis at -10. Plus 0, you've got loads of wreckage. What am I talking about?
Ollie, can you assist me with that?
I was just about to say, can I assist?
Sure, you're not doing anything else.
Yeah, I assist them.
Do not put Creed into
That
suspended
is a
animation, and you have to catch him.
Fail. I'm going to play
No, I don't
that.
want to be in suspended.
That rolls off int.
Yes.
Yes, and because I have a plus it, that is a pass of 1 degree.
Okay.
Thank
This is
you for the assist.
incredibly open area. Like, as mentioned, you're on top of a honeycomb structure, which means you could be attacked from anywhere below. You're right at, right next to a major artery of the conveyor system. It's so difficult to get defended. That said, pulling much of the barricade around yourself and blasting away at any stragglers that come near whilst obfuscating most of your marines, you're able to give yourself a measure of respite, mostly by disguising yourself so people just assume that you're wreckage where the marines punched it through and kept going, even as traffic begins moving along the conveyor way still, and in the distance you begin to hear bolt shells are flying. Within your tiny, pulled-together fortification, as Coayah and Mackie set things up, Kuzco has one terrified local defender, potentially even a civilian that he's grabbed, and with the able assistance of Coatlmox taking off his helmet, putting his helmet back on, taking his helmet off, putting his helmet back on. No, I think he only did it once. To see what things were like outside. He begins interrogating. You got one DOS, Kuzco, so you can have one question.
What do you guys think would be more important to find out? Like, amount of lightning dudes?
We're trying to take down the shields, so
Where are the defenses mainly concentrated?
yes.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say in the building.
Yes,
Where in the
but
building?
where
Like,
in the building? So we can try and circumvent.
Is there like a back service door that isn't heavily fortified? It's fortified a little bit, but less.
They
than
assume we wouldn't know about it, but we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for the, what is the path of least resistance?
Through them.
How are you doing this interrogation, Kuzco? What are you subjecting the poor individual to?
I would like to combine it with my philosophical warrior aspect and relate that we are, like, born killing machines, effectively. Like, look at my battle brother here. He can still keep going in the state that he's in. There is no way that anyone is going to stop us. His best bet is to make sure that as few of his friends die in this assault. And then I would like to turn him to face my sergeant.
Just eating the brain of the fucking...
Don't eat the wizard brain.
I can guarantee him a fate that avoids such an ending.
Without context, that's got to be even worse for that poor man.
Wait, you could always offer to him that he goes first to the front door, and then we snake round the side. He brings an offer of surrender.
And when you say path of least resistance, are you talking about the building or for the attacking forces?
Like a 6 or 1, half a dozen the other sort of situation?
One question. You can do a toss-up, though, if you fancy, and I'll just pick one at random. But I'm allowing you to be specific if you prefer one over the other.
Least defended path?
The terrified Venusian citizen cowers and quakes before you, listening to your spiel. The type of thing that you really enjoy improvising on the spot. Watches as Coatlmox takes his helmet off and the remnants of his eyes dribble out onto the floor. Is physically turned around to see Nazeem, helmet off, crouched down in the improvised fortification, chin dripping with grey matter, and they begin breaking down, blubbing, screaming, crying, screaming until you hush them, begging you not to kill them. The path of least resistance. He's a little bit unclear on what you mean, but when you say that you want the way forward that has the least enemy troops, what is the easiest way into the building, he sort of looks up at you confused, eyes wide with fear, terror, and just complete misunderstanding. Any of the doors? Why would we... And then he just breaks down, sobbing. What do?
Yeah, I'm just gonna squeeze his head until it pops like a little balloon.
It's not difficult for you.
Oh, God.
It explodes.
Oh, Corn, can you hear us?
And on that subject, let's see what's up with young Nicholas. Roleplay amongst yourselves for a moment whilst I read the Omofagia info.
Brother, what information did you gain from the captain before he was sent to meet his makers?
He suggested we use the doors.
Clearly a Venusian trap. These men are better trained than we thought.
Indeed. We should make our own doors. If I recall, we are capable of walking through walls.
I turn. Sometimes, brother. Sometimes.
Just need to find the weak fleshy spot, like that spot on the top of a baby's skull. Just press down lightly. Go right through.
Brother, if I may, what I believe we should do... Brother... I can't remember how exactly say your name, Ollie.
I am sorry, one sec, actually, I forget.
I'll just call you Mackie.
Macuiltotec.
Brother Macuiltotec here is a skilled demolitionist. We could cobble together at least some of these autocarriages into one larger thing. Unstoppable once it gets moving. We then pile all of our crack grenades inside it, primed to blow when the autocarriage meets resistance. And then point that autocarriage at the doors to our target.
What is this Robert Llewellyn bullshit? Why are you confronted with a series of wrecked autocarriages and your first thing is to try and take them inside the building?
I'm not trying to take them inside the building. I'm trying to smash the doors of the building open with an autocarriage that's basically been turned into a bomb thanks to being full of crack grenades.
I think
There's no for taking it inside the building at all.
I have now read the rules. Young Nicholas, what information were you hoping to get?
So... Nick! The information Nick would like is information on the electricity and the psychariness.
What information is Nazeem like?
Nazeem is... He's actually a knowledge seeker, so I don't know how much information I can get, but I go with... He wants to know about the lightning and how the fuck they do it. Like, what technology are they using? And also, he'd like to know information regarding the shield generator. If there's a backup system or something like that. If there's an extra shield around the shield, that sort of stuff. Extra tactical information about defending this location.
Entirely valid. As you consume the brain, fingerful by fingerful, letting the viscera drip down your chin, spitting out the occasional chunk of bone, and at one point making eye contact with a terrified civilian being interrogated by Kuzco. Pausing only momentarily when, moments later, some of that civilian's brain splatters into the brain you're eating to fleck it away. You feel a surge of fresh information sweep through you, like a realization that almost seems to emanate from, for lack of a better term, the stomach. You feel nothing about shield generators or weapons or defenses or really anything. It's certainly not about technology. What you do feel is a series of patterns, motions, symbols, if you will. Strange ways of thinking, modalities of thought, things you could do with your mind. This is confusing to you. Perhaps some kind of mimetic tech, something they're operating via remote connection to the brain. It's a surge, it's a flurry of these things, but that's about it. You may temporarily add... What's your int bonus?
5.
Okay.
With an int bonus of 5, you should be smart enough to know not to do that.
With an int bonus of 5, for the next 5 hours, you may count yourself as having Forbidden Law, the Warp, as though it were an untrained basic skill.
Fuck me.
Not with that psycho brain inside you.
The warp. Fucking hell. Okay. But I'm sure I do retain some of the other base information though, don't I?
There was no other base information.
With the symbols and so forth, or is that all part of it?
The symbols are you aren't aware that it's Forbidden Law of the Warp. That's what it's equivalent to, but that's what the symbols are. You're seeing rituals and patterns and methods of harnessing psychic power. Were you more qualified, you might recognize in this ways to summon, create, and command your own lithogolems.
I see.
Okay, squad. What do? Damn that echo.
I would like to press forward with my plan again to cobble together the remains of some autocarriages, fill them with crack grenades, and point them at the door.
I would like to take a demolitions check to see how sturdy those doors actually are.
Sure.
Yeah, they're like house doors, or are we talking like barricaded doors?
They're actually extremely richly and ornately decorated from the outside. For lack of a better term, if you didn't know better, you'd say it was in an almost High Gothic-esque style. Cool.
Can I just try and run through a wall?
Certainly, I will take a strength check at -10 from Carl and a demolitions check at +10 from Kuzco from Mackie.
+10 on my...
2 degrees of success.
Can I roll my demolitions or fellowship? Doesn't matter, actually, I still fail. 1 degree of failure.
You definitely can't roll it off fellowship after you've rolled, but otherwise you need to justify.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, at the very least, that's what you get for fucking rolling before I finish saying you're up. Screw. 2 dots. So as you're there examining this door, thinking, all right, how thick is this? And, it looks average thickness to you. Immediately to your right, desperate to redeem himself for prior failures, Kuzco barrels through the surprisingly thin wall into the corridor beyond. Kuzco. Within the anomalous power plants, I think this is an external building attached to it, right? Yeah, looking at it. Within the anomalous power plant, you can see that there's actually no one in here. The architectural style is ornate, richly decorated, swirling motifs of gold and silver winding around one another in an ever-complexifying pattern. What do?
Gonna wait for my team to show up, and then figure out which way is the best way to go.
Okay.
I mean, we'll probably follow you in when we see you walk through the sodding wall.
Yeah, rest of the team, what do? Your demolitions expert feels there must have been an easier way to get in than like building a small ramshackle explosive ram out of a car and running that into the building, and then your medical hobbyist just ran into the building through the wall.
I turn to the rest of the party. Brothers, we have a slightly easier way to get in than a ramshackled ram filled with explosives.
In which case, I would like to reload all of my guns.
That's a good point. I haven't reloaded at all yet. No.
Ammo.
He says, still picking bits of exploded clip out of him. The remnants of his grenades still hanging where they were bound by his belt, mag belt.
Yes, once I've reloaded all my guns, I'd like to put my bolter in its, I suppose, holding place.
I mean, note wherever you're putting the half-used clips.
They're just going back in the ammo storage pouches I have.
That's fair.
I guess I'm hefting my Volkite incinerator.
Yeah, you don't need to reload that. That's battery operated.
Yes, equally, once I have that, I would like to rev up my chainsword.
If I remember rightly, I was saying in the first session or second session, I would like to have a look for any power sources inside here that could be used to recharge the incinerator. Maybe there's something here, potentially.
I'm going to be very fair here. I'm not going to stop you doing it, but I am going to say everything in your basic training said do not stick the weapons into random.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
Doesn't mean you can't do it or that it wouldn't work, but everyone was very clear that is in every way a bad idea.
Yeah, fair enough.
If you do run out of ammo for it, I do have a bolter.
I have my bolt pistol as well.
In their opinion, as officers of the man, you know, and how's that done for you so far? Like, look at your current commander, fucking
just
Nazeem.
dribbling, eating strange brains.
As Venusian brain drips down his chin. Still muted, young Nicholas. I mean, you know.
Nothing bad happened, and it's something we can do.
Nothing bad did happen as Coatlmox is led into the building.
Following the sound of chainswords.
I asked the brother sergeant what he learned.
Sorry, that tickles me as they rev up and he, what? Head snaps round.
I mentioned that the electricity might be operated from some sort of mentally controlled operating system. It's very strange. It's not as useful as it normally is.
Nanites, a noosphere, there's a few ways it could be done. I suppose the noosphere is still quite new at the moment. Actually, in fact, it hasn't even been invented yet. But some type of wireless network.
Some sort of mind interface.
I'm sure we'll find more information further in, Brother Sergeant.
I'm sure we'll find more brains to eat inside.
Brother Sergeant, do you agree that our heavy weapons specialist should head in first?
Inside the building, Kuzco raves.
I mean, when we head down...
You're beaten in, brother. But
the rest of you meet up inside the building. Sorry, Karen.
Standard building clearing procedure. Demolitionist first.
Aye, brother sergeant. And with that, I guess I start walking down the corridor that looks the most potential for the largest amount of kills.
You going to take that, Coatlmox? You've led most of the successful clearings so far. Like, when you go in first with your chainsword, you do the best. And you take one minor flesh wound, and suddenly they're putting...
He can't see!
Suddenly they're putting Mackie
We're clearing a building, he can't see!
Yeah, I'm not feeling massively prideful at the moment. When I hear combat kick off, I'll whack in some more pain suppressors and charge. But
yeah, point in the right direction. It's like, eat them now and charge. Just push them forward.
You immediately die as soon as you run out of pain suppressors.
No,
I just won't be able to see fully.
Yeah.
Oh, because you burnt the fate. I forgot you did, yeah.
Which technically means I don't think you can fight in melee, but I don't think we're going to go with that. If nothing else, you can, like, whirl your sword rapidly around you.
I have pretty good hearing, I think, at the very least.
That's true. You get plus 10 to hearing. You have enhanced senses.
Point my ears at them.
Sure. We'll just say it's like a minus 30 to 40 on your weapon skill tests.
Sure.
Depending on who you're fighting. If that's a specific target, sure. If you're just attacking a horde, then you could probably just do that at much lower malice.
It's fine. I'll use my bolt pistols like tracer rounds. He just runs towards the sound and starts chainsawing things in front of him.
Fair enough. So Kuzco enters the building first. At the back, Coayah is going over ways to keep Coatlmox in the fight and at maximum efficiency and effectiveness.
I'm just going to walk down the corridor and open. So I can see we're in like a building that's attached to the main one. So I want to just find the quickest path through into the main building.
That is extremely fair. Mackie, I will take a roll, please. Let's have... I feel like this... I want to say scrutiny over perception, but I could be convinced by other possible rolls if there's something you had in your mind.
Yeah, I think scrutiny over perception makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
And this feels like it would be a basic training thing, so I'll give you a plus 10.
Yeah, sure. I'm already trained in it anyway, so I guess it's another
Quickly,
plus.
give him an assist. We have multiple people.
Oh, that's it. Gone. I'm
We're
commanding.
professionals.
If I have basic training, is that a plus 0 or a plus 10?
Basic is plus 0.
Plus 0, so plus 10, and then I'm getting assist, so plus 20, so 60 or under. Yeah, take it.
DOS?
3.
3 DOS. So you sweep through room after room after room and find really not a lot of anything. Actually, I will take a common law Imperium check at a plus 0, please, Mackie.
I do not plus 0, but I do have that trained. So it's plus 0. Yeah, I don't know. I failed that with 2 degrees of failure. 3 degrees of failure.
Yeah, this is a useless looking building. You can see absolutely nothing in here that makes any sense to you. It's stinky, it's like overly intricately decorated, there's little functionality. Why the fuck were these people defending this badly? As you sweep through room after room after room. According to your HUD map, and where it thinks you probably are in the battle zone, you thread your way through a series of rooms and corridors, occasionally punching directly through thinly coated wallpaper. And again, the defenses are just terrible. Like, these walls are not that difficult to get through at all. You can you can hear in the background intermittently Kuzco just occasionally putting his fist through walls to make himself feel better about it. That promenade building still weighing heavily on his mind.
Much like it's weighing heavily on all those people who lived inside it. Because we collapsed an awful lot of it.
We did.
When you come to what seems to be, or what is very visibly rather, a clear plasteel artery into a larger antechamber. It leads out through the sort of little triangular building you were finding your way through, with its assorted odd furniture and strange skull motifs. And through this little artery, come to a large set of richly decorated, what looks like on closer inspection, wooden doors. Behind them, the vast, overarching, domed building of the power plant. And that feels like a good place to leave it for the week.
I was just going to say, I want to I want to vox out to the other squads, saying we've reached the dome of the anomalous power plant.
I think we can probably set it as a reminder, because you might get a response back, is the thing.
No worries.
Fair. Okay, yeah, so good place to leave it, which means reminders for next session. Anyone got anything they want noted down?
I'm going to message that to the rest of the squads.
It's very valid.
Whatever Creed's character's name is, can't see.
Yes, eye blind.
Eye blind? Yes, your eyes are blind.
I'm so mad at you. Anything else?
Forbidden Warlorp is temporary.
I like that.
Forbidden Warlorp. Yeah.
Forbidden Law Warp.
No, we know what it is now.
I was part of the Forbidden War, the Lorp War.
A lot of war.
We don't talk about Lorp War.
Anything else?
Punch through walls.
Hey, that was a really solid, successful walking/running through that wall you did. You should be proud of yourself.
Damn straight I am. Like breaching like a boss.
If you had had the same thing that happened, though, to Creed's character, I would have shat myself. That would have been too fucking funny. I bet you that thought went through Ewan's head as well. He was like, do I? Do I, though?
Or what for Carl?
Yeah, do I blow up Carl as he walks into he breaches this corridor?
No, why would I? You got the clearance that you could go through wherever. Clearance. You got the intel that you could go through wherever. Any other reminders for next session?
Blow the bloody doors off. Blow the building. I presume that we're meant to destroy it. Or deactivate it.
I think you were meant to, investigate and disable the power plant, which can be destroyed or can be...
Basically, we're bringing the shield down so that more of our forces can enter.
Yeah. It's basically disable the shields.
Yeah, basically, bring the shields down so that more of our forces can enter the Venusian hives.
Yes, complete objective.
So just a general objective reminder as well. Then. Anything else? Nope. Oh, cool. Questions? Anything anyone was narratively unclear on in that session? Is everyone following the plot?
I'm unclear on what the word unclear means. Wait, unclear? Was it you said? Never mind.
You're unclear. Got it. Any other narrative questions?
Did the guy whose head I popped have like a family?
Oh yeah, somewhere.
Almost certainly.
He had an incredibly loving family. His life was going really well up to that point. He actually won the minor lottery like 2 weeks before. Not like a ridiculous life-changing amount of money, but enough money that holy fuck, he could actually pay off his mortgage. Things are finally starting to look up. Then everything changed when the Emperor nation attacked.
Then from the sky came the angels of death on swift wings.
They don't call you
ruin
angels
to
of
his
death.
world.
They call you wankers.
Yeah, well, they're the ones
They fucked us with the fucking anchor. Sorry.
They're the ones who are dead.
And
So
repeatedly over their country western channels.
yeah, well, again, they're the ones who are dead. So
Well, that guy is.
The real toll it took on us throughout this entire campaign was the meanness of them on the radio stations.
Any other narrative questions?
Where's the 0201, 03, 04?
The 0304s are way back with Third Company. You will note the legions behind you have advanced since you've been advancing. So the majority of the rest of Second Legion is moving towards their objective of they're about halfway to their objective of the blocking off the Lematic conveyor strut. Third Company is falling a little bit behind, which is not good on the rest of Third Company because they were supposed to be an advance force like the rest of you. Basically, the other 19 squads in the company are not doing very well at all. Legion 4 is bogged down in extremely heavy fighting. A lot of this will be available over the general Voxnet. And Legion 6 is kind of tearing forwards, but at ridiculously heavy casualty rates. Any other narrative queries? I'm totally okay to answer campaign stuff on that level for the record, for this and future things. I think it's fun to hear how the rest of the front is doing.
How's my kill count looking? Has it still got a healthy lead?
Oh yeah, it's not even. I mean, bearing in mind that between them, Coatlmox and Nazeem killed or wounded dozens of people in a single shot with the fucking car bowling ball maneuver, and they're still not even close. You spent 20 minutes of long, intense killing in a target-rich environment on the Miranda's beach. They're not catching up to you without detonating a base filled with people or blowing off one of the conveyor struts or something.
How did my clusterbomb do?
how's my assist count looking?
The assist count looking very good. The clusterbomb's also looking very good. But also you were providing cover first and foremost, rather than chucking detailed targets. If they'd still been in the charging swarm, then you probably would have done a lot better. But if you'll recall, they started to break from that when the Volkite incinerator came out, and they started getting incinerated en masse. So they then broke further back and into smaller groups. You don't chunk together when you're getting beam weapon, basically.
Yeah.
Even a militia doesn't necessarily understand great tactics, but simple things like don't stand next to each other, drilled in. Any other narrative questions? Nope. For everyone else's record, it would be a much fiercer competition for who's got the biggest kill count if it weren't for Mackie's section on the beach, basically. Is just... I'd be keeping more detailed track otherwise.
I personally... I want it noted that I don't pay any attention to this so-called kill count competition because I'm going for quality, not quantity.
I mean, I kind of have noticed that you stand back and do things which are either funny or sensible, as opposed to on the inverse side of things, you got Coatlmox doing things for maximum cool. Let's not do psychoanalysis right now. We should probably get through stuff, otherwise the post-session will take forever. Feedback. Anything you liked, anything you disliked, anything you'd like to see more of or less of next time.
I loved the flexibility in the using the autocarriages as cover, and that was amazing. Be able to kill the hordes, it's beautiful. Those car tossers. Oh.
Car tossers!
Yep.
I like the impromptu mortar shelling.
The mortar shelling, I think, was actually one of the few pre-planned things that I had for most of this session. A lot of the rest of it was winged. The mortar shelling, I hadn't planned to have the rest of the Marines quite so far behind at this stage, and the mortar shelling was supposed to be like, the Marines have breached past the fucking front line en masse, start shelling.
5 Marines.
Yeah, 5 Marines had come past. The call went back of, fuck, the defenses have fallen, start the fucking coordinated shelling, followed by a bit of a kerfuffle behind the lines, and wait a second, the defenses clearly haven't fallen, we're still holding them back. This is going significantly better than we'd hoped it would. What the fuck are you talking about? Stop shelling our own troops, you fucking nutjobs. Which is why you got 1 volley, but no more than that.
Still wasted volley.
Sorry?
Still wasted volley.
It's less of an issue of wasting the volley, it's a hive, their industrial output is such that doesn't matter in the slightest. Yeah. The issue is more that they were bombing their own conveyor way, and they wanted to do that at the point where it's this is
blow the bridge.
Yeah, exactly. You blow the bridge at the strategic junction, you don't just blow it immediately before it even needs to be done. If nothing else, it would cut off a lot of their own reinforcements going up to the Lematic conveyor strut. And it was supposed to be a volley along most of the line. They just only got the ranging shots out, which would have meant that they destroyed huge amounts of their own infrastructure due to a cock-up.
So we're helping on multiple fronts.
And our forces now know there are mortars there, so...
I don't think you radioed it in.
I did.
Yeah.
I did, because I'm a professional.
Yeah, I thought Benji radioed it in.
I thought he talked about it. But you know what? I'll catch it on the recording back. Cool. Any other... and I'm glad about the cars as well. Like I say, I didn't actually have that planned at all. That's just you all doing things with cars. Any other feedback?
Pretty excellent.
Yeah, good. Enjoyed.
Cool. Good to hear. Okay, let's do some exploit. Plot progress. Does anyone feel like you made any significant plot progress this session?
You have arrived at objective location.
Yeah.
That's true. I think that's a pretty cut and dried, valid thing. Character development. Does anyone feel like they developed their characters this session?
Plot. I think my character obtained some knowledge on the lightning weapons.
It's not plot, though. That's not part of your mission objective.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay.
You have all been expressing a fair amount of curiosity over it, but you're really, not supposed to. You just are. I say really all. What I mean is young Nicholas and Ollie have been expressing curiosity over it. Any character development?
I think. Sorry.
I was just going to say I interrogated someone, and like apothecaries do interrogation stuff, so I'm like going down the line there, you know.
The worst fucking experience of Coatlmox's life, and this is the moment where Kuzco goes, "Yeah, maybe I could be an apothecary."
I think Nazeem's feeling a lot more kind of settled in his commander position. Felt a bit more, say, in control, but like the group, the squad was gelling a lot more.
They were definitely less bullshit this week.
Because I was doing what I wanted to do anyway.
The two people with you were doing what they wanted to do anyway, and the two most bullshit members of the squad were off doing their own thing.
I think it flowed a lot, but there was a lot less chatter with, no, I want to do this, or I want to do that.
It's true. But I think to an extent that's partially because they stopped asking for permission. Usually you'd say
anyway.
asking for forgiveness, but yeah, they just did it anyway and then didn't ask for forgiveness.
He feels that...
No, I think the character development is totally valid, but, you know, it's just maybe a little voice in the back of Nazeem's mind noting that they're still obstructing you.
No, I would like to make one addendum to that. Like, while most of that is generally accurate, I would say that I did recommend as like a squad tactic or strategy, whichever you want to like term it as, is we assault the position as fast as possible before they like set up a proper defense, and that's what we bloody well did.
Yeah, and we cleared that path for you, which we suggested we do, and then Nick was like, "I'll give you one round."
And you got your round, and then pushed forwards.
Round, yeah, and then we killed everyone behind us.
It went quite well. Good leader knows how
I think you killed people.
to listen to the squad. Like, yeah, okay, do your thing.
You killed people laterally to you, not people behind you.
Didn't you say they were coming down this way? So we had that big horde coming down this way. You had the smaller barricade.
You had people coming through the barricades, and then because
we were here.
The conveyor way, most of the conveyor way traffic's going this way, right? Yeah, and you blocked the conveyor way here, which meant the troop transports that were going in this direction started dismounting and attacking you there.
I asked that, and then you said it was in the northeast corner. You said troops were coming down in the northeast corner of Zone Shay's building.
The northeast corner. Oh, yeah, the northeast corner of Zone Claire, which is that, what's it called, the junction.
Oh, this is, okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the bit labelled Claire's Claire. That's
a bit labelled Claire.
That's
Don't speak Latin.
So this isn't Latin. This is the Hattel. We'll just do Latin next time. We'll have alpha, beta, gamma, etc.
Oh, is it actually? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. Nice.
Ah, yes, that famous Latin letter, se.
I don't know. Well, I guess the point I'm trying to get across is I didn't know.
I mean, that's fair. I think, much as I quibble, like it's 100% a failing of the GM when the players don't understand the geography of the world they're in. Like that's entirely on me. Any other character development?
Does it count as character development that Cread had to burn a fake?
I mean, depending on what it means for his character, I would say like that could be viewed as a seminal moment, or it could not.
Say character development. Mackie and Coayah moving toward being more of a team.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Mackie and Coayah learn the power of teamwork without the rest of the team. Cool. Excellent role.
Poor NPC who died.
You do not get
the ending of his life. And
NPCs. Excellence of roleplay. Does anyone feel like anyone else roleplayed particularly well that session?
I think Benji Ollie, the pillar box, very good. That was roleplayed very well. Creed's fearless charging forwards was roleplayed very well.
Oh, it's Goal's philosopher interrogation.
It was definitely a different style.
I think, therefore, you die.
That's also the first time that we've had an interrogation in quite a while that hasn't immediately split off into like elaborate finger torture. It's always finger torture. So I was very happy for the change of pace.
There was that one session years back which did make all of us feel kind of somewhat physically ill, if I remember rightly.
Speak for yourself.
It got real dirty.
Sorry, what was that? That was Kuzco's philosophy interrogation. We are as inevitable as the wind. Any other Excellence of Roleplay nominations? Nope. Fair. Okay.
I'm not sure if it really counts as roleplay, but I just find it amusing that Benji was more into blowing stuff up than the demolitions expert.
I don't know if I'm...
Shock and awe tactics.
He has
West
to
Space
be,
Marines.
he has to be fair, consistently, like, as he keeps saying, we're supposed to be professionals.
I mean,
He keeps saying we're professionals, the supposed to be is implied every single time. But he does adapt his combat tactics consistently for whatever situation he's in. Everyone else is mostly doing the thing that they think is fun and cool, which is fine and valid. But I do like that on the beach, he was doing support and like staying behind the heavy weapons until you got to a place where he could use his weapons more freely. When you were fighting in the building, he was doing close combat melee. When you got out into the streets, it was switched to mid-range usage of the bolter, and then once you got to the cars, it was okay, so we need to do like crowd suppression and building cover as we go across this wide open thing. So Benji's very much keeping Coayah as a pretty good example of a tactical marine in that he's actually being tactical. Whereas everyone else is doing a pretty good example of like a warrior knight, in that they have the one thing that they think is really cool and that they're really awesome at, and they do that over and over again, and sometimes it doesn't work too well. But sometimes it works really well. So logically, the other times are just a rounding error.
Just keep walking forward. That's what you need to do.
Yeah. We're professionals, damn it.
And there it is, with the tacit supposed to be. So I make that out to be 145 experience points for session number 3.
5!
I'll be giving you 75 XP as standard. So it's going to be 050505 forever. I might drop the standard XP down a little bit. Like, I started doing campaign planning for future stuff and realized that, oh fuck, these guys may be around for a while.
Well, on that note, the base cost of stuff is about double, so it might work out.
Yeah.
Oh, fair.
It's quite expensive.
What was the XP again, sorry?
145. 20 points, plot progression, just getting to the objective. That's a pretty standard thing. 30 points, character development. That's Kuzco starting his apothecary career. Nazeem starting to feel more settled. And Mackie and Coayah learning the power of teamwork brackets without the rest of the team. 20 points, excellence of roleplay. Benji and Ollie's pillbox combo. You've got me saying pillbox now. Creed's fearless death charge. And Kuzco's philosophy interrogation plus 75 standard. Yeah, I'll have a look at the XP cost. Maybe we could just take this because I don't want to like over level you and then everything stops being even slightly a challenge. But I also want you to be able to buy shit in advance as we go up the ranks.
What I'm seeing currently is that the way the system here is designed is that it's not necessarily so fun if you want to be like a multi-role user, but it does account for the fact that, you know, you are going to be earning a lot of XP, is what I'm kind of seeing. Like it takes into account you're going to be earning like 150 to 200 a session.
I'll do some reading and see what the
yeah, it's not a bad shout.
What's more general average supposed to be, because like I was looking at how do we stagger these guys out so that they last for the Great Crusade and are cool by the heresy, and I have like 10 campaigns and that only takes us through the first half of the Great Crusade. Which is a lot. But at the same time, I kind of like the idea of getting really ludicrously attached to these guys and then they slowly die off over time, or...
Immediately in the third session.
This was the third session.
Exactly.
I got 3 fate left, thank you.
And remember, you can earn fate back if you do incredible actions, like really world-changing stuff.
Still here as well, I'm going to spend 200 points on 1 advance in fellowship.
I'm thinking I might up my ballistic skill.
And that brings us on to everyone's favourite part of the session. It's the highlights. Young Nicholas, our erstwhile commander, do you have any highlights for that session?
The brain is yummy.
I will. If anyone has a different phrasing in mind for that highlight, I think if there was ever a time to have two highlights of the same fucking thing, now
Young
is
Nicholas
that.
immediately eats the spoop. Immediately in all caps.
You can't put a psycho in front of me,
Well.
have the ability to eat their brain and gain something, and not do it.
You did this in my campaign as well. You touched the spooky red river of goop, and you
Well,
got.
my psychic powers. I didn't actually touch it myself.
Yeah, then you all did get touched by the tendrils anyway.
Yeah, and that clearly set the tone going forwards, didn't it? Like you didn't touch the psycho now. You just shoveled his grey matter into your face.
If he could have, he would have done it with a psychic power, just to gently levitate the bites into his smell.
So, any other
I feel like
highlights?
you're just being a bit salty, Ollie.
Yeah, he's a bit. I mean, he didn't get to eat Psycho Brain. What's Ollie even doing? Slowly running out of ammunition and riding off of doing well in the first session. So I don't even know what I'm staring at this point. Any other highlights for Nicholas?
Cluster bomb.
Cluster bomb, more than you bombed for. Any other highlights? Do you want us to come back to you?
I think that's it actually.
Cool. Creed, do you have any highlights for that session?
Autocarriage MVP.
Is that for the yeeting them at people?
And for the damage they've done to us as well. Which pre-Psycho Blast was still the most damage I'd taken.
Yeah, same.
Alright, for damage caused. Other than the shot that killed it. No. Any other highlights?
Kuzco's post-philosophy head explosion. Or head detonation, maybe.
Jesus. Any other highlights?
That's it for me.
He only needs to do it 3 times, and then it becomes Legion habit. Any highlights for that session, Benji?
I am fortifying this position.
Gods damn it.
I just had to get it in there. I couldn't resist.
I'm so mad at you. Why did I give you people this power? Any other highlights, Benji? No, he's doing nothing. Good. Yeah, any other highlights, Benji?
You're muted,
I will interrogate this man with philosophy.
Oh yeah. We haven't actually had that. Interro Age. Any other highlights?
Who needs a demolitionist?
I mean,
You need a demolitionist, because I have a Volkite incinerator.
any
Breaking
other,
through walls.
any other highlights?
The only cover a Space Marine needs is for his face.
As your Captain Sergeant lodges himself in a nearby gutter. Any other highlights?
That's it for me for now.
Carl, any highlights for that session?
Auto-carriage nesting marines.
There was a lot of nesting in auto carriages this session, right? It's not just me. Anything else?
We're professionals.
He said it every session to date, usually disdainfully.
We're professionals.
Like, sometimes it's pleading. Sometimes it's trying to convince himself. Sometimes it's true.
You know what the best bit is? You realise that if young Nicholas loses the race to get the captaincy and Coayah wins, it's almost invariably going to end up, almost inevitably rather, going to end up as your company motto.
What?
Any other highlights, Carl?
Kool-Aid Man.
God damn. Anything else?
That's it.
I missed someone? Ollie, did we do you?
No.
Cool. Ollie, do you have any highlights of that session?
The corpses are a bonus.
Is that a quote?
Yeah,
It is a quote.
it's from going through the cars.
Yeah, I said that.
Yep. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Any other highlights?
Recreating the car hit to see if it really hurts. I don't know if we have the second one for Nick, which was don't eat the spoop goop.
We've already had your Nicholas immediately.
And that's fine. Oh, I don't even know. Just Cole finally walks through a wall.
He managed it last time with difficulty.
Yeah. Okay. What's the name of your character again, Cole?
Kuzco.
Kuzco achieves his wildest dreams, so maybe be the more appropriate phrasing.
Any other highlights, Ollie?
No, I can't think of anything.
Fair. Do I have any highlights? I can't think of anything. I guess a piece of feedback which I completely forgot. I've so missed the fucking Dark Heresy critical hit effects. Like, oh my god. There's just something so beautiful about those fucking tables. Cool. Any other random highlights from anyone? You missing anything?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Just waiting on your ones.
Fair. I feel like I had some, but I've immediately forgotten them now that we've got to the end.
I would run down in a notepad as I'm doing it because I know I will forget.
I try to, but I used to forget, and now I forget, but also, when I type, it's really awkward on the recording and adds editing time. So I try to type less in the sessions. It makes things easier. Like, last session, I think I didn't have to edit anything out of it until, past the standard formula stuff, until, the 1 hour 50 mark, which is a record. That's insane. We usually only do about 2 hours worth of sesh net, and then it's the post sesh. Oh, cool.
One last thing. I don't know if it's been added, if I missed it or anything, but warped fried Coatlmox.
Oh yeah, we didn't do fucking... There it is. Thank you. I knew there was something. Oh... It's the fact that he's actually still quite difficult to kill, right? Because you need to do effectively 10 wounds to him to actually put him down. Oh, if you do it to the body, which you mostly do at the moment, you do 9 more wounds to him to kill him. What's your toughness right now, Cread?
50.
50. Wait, 50. 50, sorry. Cool, yeah, 50. So you've got a soak of 5 plus your armor, which isn't environmentally sealed, but it's still one
Soak of
block.
10, isn't it?
Well, yeah, we got unnatural toughness.
Oh, yeah.
So it's...
And what's your net soak then with your armor and shit?
20 to body, 18 everywhere else.
So really, even on the cusp of death, with your arms ready to fly off if you were hit with an unfortunately timed power axe, you can still tank fairly heavy amounts of small arms fire and be none the worse for wear.
Theoretically, nothing that is no standard basic weapon from Dark Heresy can really kill him right now. Like a standard 1d10
on a crit, they can still do 1 damage.
Suppose that is true, actually, yes.
Depending on the weapon and depending on the target. I would say he's probably eligible to be crit shot by people.
As well, Ollie, I believe you're forgetting about melter guns.
Yeah, that's why I said
I'm with Ollie. I think he was very clearly talking about autoguns and that, because plasma guns are in the fucking basic list in Dark Heresy.
I'm talking like shit tier mook weapons.
Yeah, he didn't actually mean basic class weapons, because that's only rifles. Cool. Thank you all for a very entertaining session number 3 of planned many, apparently. We'll see how... What?
So you've already got plans for another, was it 10 campaigns, did you say?
I've done rough brainstorming for... I've plotted out a timeline for the first half of the Great Crusade, and that would be another 10 of these, basically.
Cool, so I'll see you here in 2 years then.
to get to check. I mean, we'll see how it goes, right? We can speed it up or slow it down as necessary, but there's also a load of cool things that we can do, and I was saying this to Benji before the session, but what I'd really like to do, and what it feels like we're best positioned to do, is to do a really good Terran Marine experience of you start out young and you slowly become fucking Crusade heroes over time, and then there's all these noobs intaken from elsewhere, and the Crusade sort of warps and changes over time and gets less military, and you...
Back in my day.
Exactly. Like, you'll get to go from being the fresh-faced, young, on-fire noobs you are now to being old, withered, bitter, on-fire people.
Yeah.
With a cook pot.
Say with a cook pot.
You need to get a cooking pot at some point.
Is this a cannibalism thing?
Kinda. Is it for the brains?
Are you just going to like find useful brains?
Nicholas, we already did a cooking pot thing.
I
When
know,
I started, we don't need to do it.
I love the idea of Nick carrying like vials of useful brain and every so often.
It needs to be fresh, and you can't cook it. Anywho, yes, I will see
butter.
I will see everybody back here next week. Anyone got any final words for the recording?
You do brains.